Well, hello, and welcome to SkyTour LiveStream. I feel like I should talk with a subdued voice tonight. We're gonna look at the wonders of the. I'll be the Bob Ross of astronomy. Oh gosh, I would hate that. Hey, hello to all these people that are here. Kathleen, Trish, Dew is here. D17, Tom, Marianne, Rob, DDB, our one and only excellent sniper. Actually, she's not the one and only. She's one of the most prolific snipers of bad people. But I mean, we don't have to do too much of that here because our folks tend to be pretty nice. I'm going to turn our lights red down here. There we go. So now I have my red lights on. Terry Groff is here. Tim F is here. We got a nice crew already. Tara's here. Dan Delaire. And I know that we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to be doing some galaxy spelunking. Why? Because I want to show you the places where we think there could be other life, and there are a number of galaxies that look very promising, and it just so happens they're right up there right now. Well, a little to the east right now. They're going to be moving into the west, so it's a good time to do this. Paul Atreides, hello. Marco, hello. And to those of you that just joined us, Daisy and Zoe just came in, hello. It's so nice of you to be here. It's a gorgeous night out there, and we do have Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, and we have Daryl, believe it or not. Daryl, what's going on, brother?
Hi, Mark. Hanging in there best I can.
All right, well, we're rooting for you. We want you to hang in there for a long time to come. So, we're going to do...
some questions coming in already, Mark.
Okay.
One being, did you get a new haircut?
No. I mean, yes, but not... I got a new camera. I got a 4K camera, so I can here see that thing right there, and it's gonna help me. And I've got it set on a mode that is gonna make the background transparent, as you'll see. Reason why. But any more questions?
Dan also wants some updates on the Arizona site, of course.
Absolutely. I mean, Marianne Robb is out here. She's right here now, and I can tell you that. She is helping to put together everything out there. By the way, this is the star Spica, in case you didn't, if you wanted to know, that it's the star Spica that we're actually looking at. So I will be taking us from Spica, which is in Virgo, to the rest of the galaxies in Virgo. It's not quite dark enough yet, but we're going to try it anyway. We'll use our different filters, try and grab some nice shots. Okay, update on the Arizona site. June 22nd, I fly to Arizona if all is well. There's no issues with the flight and or the fact that I'm going to walk on with a full organic respirator, and then we're going to actually go and build the building, which is kind of nice. I want to say hi to Don Rob, who's here. Don Rob and Marianne, you guys, you know what? Those are two special people. Whenever I go to Arizona, they basically say you can always stay here with us, and I try to do something nice in return, and they want nothing. I mean, that might change now. They're probably going to really start to exact a revenge on me for all the times I've gone out there and spent time with them. But they're really good people. And in fact, they're part of the reason that I'd like to move to Arizona. I mean, I will move to Arizona because they're the kind of people that you see there. They're the kind of people you interact with. They're among the first people that I started to, really get to know. And, the kindness and the way they operate and the way they live life, I don't know. It's just, it's great. It really is nice. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy to have met them and be their friend. So, to them, I say thank you for all you've done for me. You probably made the fact that I can come out there and actually do this observatory a reality. Besides the person who actually gave us use of the 5-acre plot out in the desert to use to put the observatory on. Next to his generosity, Don and Marianne have no equal. So I really think that they're tremendous. So, and besides, Marianne's a cop, and I have to say nice things or she'll arrest me. No, I'm not kidding. I am kidding, rather. She won't tase me either. She'll pretend to. She'll say she's gonna, but she never does it. And
she thinks you should turn your light blue.
She wants blue lights now?
Officers.
Oh, Well, actually, since it's officers, maybe I should just do do this. Do the blue and like do this as well.
The red, the sirens.
Yeah, I mean, hey, just do constantly, just change it back and forth, So we have red and we have blue. Just like we got fire trucks out there, but Don was a fireman for many years, so he was quite used to the red lights and quite used to the blue lights of the police. But we're gonna do red light right now. Maybe we'll do. Hey, dude, thanks, man. Wow, party like it's 1999. That's great. Hey, and there goes my camera.
Oh my god.
That was scary.
I swear to God, your camera is so glitchy. I swear to God, I thought you just fell off the chair sideways.
No, it's
Okay, anyone, you guys are about to see it on YouTube, I'm sure. Tell me that it doesn't look like Mark just like went right off to the left of the screen, fell right sideways off the chair. Daryl, did you notice that?
That's what it looked like to me.
Okay.
Daryl,
Mark,
talk.
I think you should try holding a flashlight under your face like you're telling a
Oh
story.
yeah, that's a good idea. So we can do that really cool stuff, huh?
Good thought.
Yeah. No, Marianne, I don't want you to tase me. So anyway, yeah, welcome to SkyTour LiveStream tonight. We're gonna actually do some, as I said, galaxy spelunking, and we'll have some fun doing that. And also, we're going to look at any other objects that might be interesting to look at, and that our co-hosts would like to see if they're up. And it's so nice to be able to come and bring this to you tonight because it's such a beautiful night. So, that said, why don't we actually try to locate something right away instead of messing around here? So I'm going to shut off our blue rams because we don't need that. And let's go take a look. If we come down here, why don't we take a look at the Sombrero galaxy? We should be able to see that now. I would like to check that out. We've seen it before.
Kind of figured that'd be the first thing you'd look at.
You kind of figured, huh?
Starting at Spiker.
Yeah. And of course you hear the telescope naturally. And now the telescope is going to Algorab to do its initial setup. Okay. And Algorab's right there. And then it's going to center it, and then it's going to go away and know exactly how far it has to go to the Sombrero galaxy. And wherever you see this star center up, which is right there in the upper center, that should be, okay, maybe a little to the left. As soon as it starts to move out of the way, that's about where the Sombrero galaxy is going to be. So we should expect the Sombrero to be right about here. All right, and we're going to see if that's true. Let's come on in here to our settings here. And as always, for those that are just joining us, for the first time and just need a primer, this is the telescope control system over here. We have access to the telescope computer via this central set of number pad. We have the directional controls here. We have a filter wheel down here to actually go checking things out. And what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to take us back from filter 5. And we're going to go past filter 1. Filter 1 is a very narrow band filter, and a less narrow band filter is number 2. That's the one we're going to go to. And now over here is the camera control cluster, and here we're going to do a we'll do, I don't know, what do you say, since I don't remember, probably do 20 seconds at a fairly high ISO to begin with, just to make sure we got it. Then I'll have to make an adjustment to the computer to check something out, and then we should be all set. So here we go. We're going to take this picture, and over here in the other location here, we have this. Okay, so here's Spica over here. And once this exposure is done, we'll see if we have our Sombrero galaxy where we thought we'd have it. And we do, almost exactly where we thought we had it. Now there's a little problem, and I'll introduce you to this new technique thing. Okay, so here is the Sombrero galaxy. You can't miss it. It's got that nice long little piece going on there. All right, but you'll notice also the stars. The stars have some little tails on them. We got to get rid of that. So we have to use a refinement to the setup on the computer or the telescope. So we're going to go do that right now. I didn't do that beforehand. I should have, and I forgot. Okay, I forgot. I was so excited about doing all this, I didn't remember. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to get to the computer. And then I'm going to go down and down again. And I'm going to enter. And then I'm going to set this to 0, 5. Enter. And then go down again. And I'll tell you what I'm doing in just a moment. All right, I'm waiting for the down to work. Okay, there we go. Down again. Enter. And set it to 0, 1. And enter. Now, what did I just do? I just entered the guide telescope control system, and I ended up setting the guiding speeds to a lot lower, and I'm going to do this again and see if it worked. Actually, we're going to go and do it a little longer, 25 seconds at 16,000, just to see what we get. And here we go. Tara, it's the strangest thing I'm doing. What do you mean strange? I'm a disembodied head rolling around the screen. Look, it's a teaching tool. It's so I can actually show you things a little better than using a silly cursor, because the cursor alone doesn't do it. I have to actually show you things and talk, It's like I'm there. It puts me out there with the nebula, with the galaxy. Okay, so that's better. That's a lot better, actually. So here we have the Sombrero again. And now I want to show you, if we go into looking at the Sombrero, this is cool. When you look up at the Sombrero now, all right, you actually see this dark lane across the center of the Sombrero. That dark lane, all right, that dark lane right there, that thing is actually a dark, there's dark gas and dust, actually, dark dust, actually, that's in there. And it's obscuring part of the nucleus of the galaxy there, and you can see a little tiny bit of it down here, see? So a little above and a little below. And that process is something that is well known to astronomers. And we actually look at galaxies like this, and we see them, and this little dark lane here tells us that this galaxy is kind of almost edge on to us, just almost edge on, but not quite. Not quite. So that's part of the allure of galaxies like this. They're really, really pretty. And they also have quite a bit of material in them to have these really, really amazing and dark lanes, okay? And those dark lanes are something that, we have to, we examine, actually. When the Hubble Space Telescope has looked at many of these dark lanes, and they see tremendous knots in the galaxy structure, and it's just really, really cool.
I assume that's rather like the Great Rift, the dark rift we see in the Milky Way.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Daryl said, it's hard to hear you, Daryl, but I think he said it's like the dark rift in the Milky Way. Your volume seems low. I'm not sure why. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring me up too, because I think that I need to have made an adjustment here. That might be better now. Try it again, Daryl.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
You sound the same, even though I almost doubled the volume. How about you, Amanda?
I bumped up too.
Daryl sounds a little low to me. How do I sound?
You
Loud
sound.
as always.
Yeah, you're like you should be. Yeah.
I'm always loud.
No.
Talking normally, I'm loud. When I get excited, I'm almost screaming at people. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
How does that sound?
It's still pretty
That
low.
might be a little better. It sounded a little louder at the end of that sentence. Say something again.
The quick red fox jumped over the lazy brown dog.
Sounds a little louder. I mean, it's still kind of low, but it seems louder than it was a minute ago.
That's funny. It did this the other night. I know, Mark. We checked my sound before we started. You said it was fine.
Yeah, you sounded fine when we started, but I think it has to do with the streaming software that we're using and all the things that happen with that streaming software. I could also make an adjustment. Yeah, go ahead, Amanda.
No, I was just wondering, when Mark starts to talk, like, do you lean back, like, in your chair? Do you, like, reposition yourself where your mic might have gotten a little further away, or you could have accidentally rubbed a volume button or anything, or?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
No, I don't think so.
All right, well,
It wasn't noticeable at the beginning of the call.
Yeah, I know.
I was just noticing it as Mark said it, actually.
I'll adjust my mic a little closer. We'll see. Yeah. I didn't change anything, I don't think, except I did bump up my level just now.
Well, I made a
better
change.
now.
I made a change now, actually. I changed the mix between the two of you and my voice, and I think that maybe that brought both of you up a little. Because, Daryl, I think you sound okay now.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty good.
Live radio, folks.
It's okay. It's fine. Oh, and by the way, for those that are watching, this little box down here that you're seeing, okay, this thing is actually a little, it's like a finder. It tells you where in the entire frame we're located. So that's kind of cool. And that really is helpful when we're like this close, because then you actually see where we are over there. And we can move it around and be out of the, out of that location and come back to it, So it's just sort of a little, well, it's for you to see where we are, when we're in here. So there we go. All right, well, this is the Sombrero Galaxy.
Mark, you know what you need in that thing you're using there?
What do I need?
You need like a Doctor Strange cloak. I think that would look really good.
That's actually quite clever. I was thinking, I wonder if we can change Mark to an avatar. Because I wouldn't mind seeing Mr. Paperclip again.
Oh, God.
Remember how helpful he
Microsoft
was
Paperclip?
pointing you in the right spot?
Yeah, but I can't sit there and go blink, blink, blink all the time to, like, get your attention.
I would be following the paperclip around the screen.
Yeah, I remember that. It was fun. For a while, and then you got bored and had to go back to work. I liked it, though. That was cool. Yep.
Haha, Marianne said I was perfect.
Well,
She's only referring to my volume, but I'm
it-
gonna overlook that part.
is there any doubt that you're perfect?
Ha ha ha. Every day.
Oh. All right, let's see now. This with the sombrero. Let's go and, this every red oval you see here is a galaxy. So, these are amazing galaxies. And the sombrero is sort of a tightly wound galaxy. And in the fact that it's tightly wound, it means that there might be an awful lot of stars in there that are young and hot, and along with an older disk population and nuclear population there. So the chances of there being some type of life out there are not zero at all. They're actually probably pretty good. The Sombrero is a fairly, distant galaxy from us. I'm trying to remember how far it is. I think it's, okay, it's right here. It's 29 million light years away. It's not 2 million light years like the Andromeda Galaxy, and the Triangulum Galaxy, for instance. But it is far enough away that we don't get a lot of, we can't infer a lot from looking at it. We can't really carefully see the planets that are forming around the stars within the Sombrero, for instance. That's not something easy to do. In fact, it's beyond our capability in some cases, because some galaxies are so far away they're just smudges on the best of telescopes. And that's kind of cool, to think about.
Should mention too that it's Sombrero is M104.
Yes, that's right.
Messier 104.
That's right, Messier 104. And we are talking about doing a Messier marathon at some point.
Have you given any more thought to a date?
Well, it has to be at a time when we actually can see most of these Messier objects. Am I right? Hey, let's say hi to Stacy from Phoenix MUFON. Stacy's here. Yeah, Stacy's great. Stacy, I'll be out there on June 22nd. We're building the observatory out in the desert. Yeah.
And welcome to Lane, our cousin Lane.
Daisy and Zoe brought Lane.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Lane. What's up? What are you doing here in your pajamas? Yeah, this is a formal event.
Really? I'm in my pajamas.
Oh, man. I don't need to know that. They probably have beetles on them or something.
No, my sleeping pants have stars on them.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So, I mean, that's kind of theme appropriate.
Yeah, I think so. So, while we're here, let's actually find another object to go to. I actually think I want to go to this other galaxy here that I had set up here. And there it is up here. Daryl, you've ever seen the Dust Devil galaxy?
Not by that name, at least.
Okay. Well, it's NGC 4753.
I don't remember by that one either, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay, so as you guys know, the telescope goes to a bright star. In this case, let's find out what star it has chosen as a guide star that will take it to. Okay, it's going to Minalava, and it's going to go there. And you can see Minalava is a little orange, and it really is. And then it's going to, once it homes in on there, it's going to then know exactly how far to go to get to the Dust Devil galaxy. And we're going to check it out in just a minute. We'll see it. Dust Devil galaxy is a really neat-looking galaxy. It's actually 70 million light years away, so it's even further, by more than 3 times beyond the Sombrero. It's amazing. Yeah, Terry, you're out of the MUFON loop, I know. That's too bad, man, because you were pretty good. You were really good. All right, let's go see. And by the way, this view here is our little planetarium that is side by side with the actual view, so you can see what's going on. All right. Let's take an image and see if we can catch this galaxy. 25 seconds at 16,000 ISO, as you can see over here. 16,000, 25 seconds. And off go the pictures. I want to say hi to Kathleen Solway Kessel. I want to say hello to Gas Mask. I want to say hello to Genghis, who's here. How you doing, man? Good to see you guys. Flames of War, welcome. So nice to see you out joining us tonight for the run through the sky. And there it is. Wow. Yeah. Interesting galaxy, this one, because when you look at this galaxy, right, if you look, you see these little tiny dots right there. It's little tiny dots in there, right there, and then there's one right there. These little dots, okay, in this galaxy are actually, those could very well be other objects that are in that galaxy, but very large in terms of what that galaxy looks like. They're not going to be things like globular clusters, I don't think, because this is 70 million light years away. So those are going to be very, very faint objects inside the galaxy. But it's a fun one, and we'll check out that galaxy along with others, some more. And what I can do, and what I usually do, is I'll pick one and I'll take about 20 photos of it. Many times I'll do that offline after we've closed down the stream. And then I will stack the images and then show you those in the SkyTour LiveStream Facebook site. If you haven't gone there, please go there and join. And you can enjoy all the photos we take and download them, use them as wallpaper. We got a lot of photos up there. And I upload them in full size. I don't ever cripple them in any way. Okay, I just lied. In order to upload them quickly, I have to make them into PNG files, PNG files. I take that from TIFF files. So if I don't do that, then the files are going to be huge, and you'll just get frustrated downloading these large files, especially if you got someone else in the house playing with the Wi-Fi upstairs and so forth. So I do make them pings so that it's a little easier, right? So yeah, that's the Dust Devil galaxy. That's pretty cool. I want to see if we can actually capture. Yeah, I can see that. You can see this the the spiral nature of this galaxy is pretty clear. Notice that all the noise. This is from the fact that we are taking very high ISO shots. That is, and that actually means that we're using higher sensitivity on the camera chip. And what that does is it will tend to make our images really grainy like this. And this is, it's bad, but we want to do that first so we can see where to go from here. So, like for instance, we can take this down to say 10,000, right? And that's 2 camera stops, and we can send this up to 30 seconds, and then I got this set to a minute, and now we can do a 1-minute shot of this galaxy, and this will take it'll take a shot for 1 minute, but at a lower ISO, so we won't see as much noise. And to that end, I think it'll be good. When he came home, someone was weed whacking out in my yard here, and it filled my nose with pollen and grass. So you're gonna see me constantly blowing my nose to try and get rid of all this stuff, and I will probably sneeze more than once. I'm not sick.
Curtis wants to know if you've ever done live stacking. I don't think so.
No, I haven't, and I've investigated it. There's some applications, as Curtis knows, that do this, and I haven't done that, and the reason I haven't is because my camera's not supported. We're not using one of these standard astronomical cameras. We're using a DSLR that's been adapted to astronomy, because I can go to an ISO of 409,000, and that's really kind of the important thing for me. Well, look at that. See, dropping it down to 10,000 actually changes the view somewhat. Oh, Charles, yeah, I saw the video that purports to shows NASA destroying the comet. That's so ridiculous. Anyone who believes that can also believe any ridiculous thing that you see on YouTube. That was really... It was laughable. It was embarrassing to anyone who knows how this stuff works. Saying that NASA destroys the comet. They certainly did not. It's just there is no such thing as a technology that can do that at this point. And if there was, there would just be no reason to hide it, because it's not. We'd be using it to keep asteroids from striking us, is what we'd be using it for. But that's not what we would hide from anyone. We'd openly show that. We'd openly show that. You're welcome, Curtis. I know about Astro Toaster, and it'll stack what you put in a folder. I'm a little picky about my stacking though, and I know it has some options. But what happens is I have to also be able to go through all my files, and I'm really critical about the files that are good to use for stacking. For instance, you zoom in on the stars, and if the stars are elongated, like these stars are slightly elongated, ever so slightly, and this means that to stack a star like that with other stars that are pinpoints will produce a kind of a fuzzy result. So I'm really paranoid about that, and I don't want to use stars like that. So I go through all the TIFF files, and I make them TIFFs, okay, with no compression whatsoever. I go through each and every file. Say we take 20 of the same thing. I go through each and every one, and I look at a bright star, and I look at the dimmest star, and I compare those against the 2 exposures right near the object in question. And if the stars are round for the entire set, then every one of those photos can be used for the stack. But if any show a slight elongation, I just delete it. I'd rather do it another night rather than have a bad stack. I'd rather have a good stack, and that's what it's all about. Hey, Dr. Fox 2000, and hey, Axie, what's going on? Curtis, I actually didn't say hi to you. Hello, Curtis. Curtis Horn. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad that you have found us, the folks that have just found us for the first time. It's a really fun time, Amanda's here, Daryl's here, I think I'm here, and we're in the Connecticut Observatory right now, and you're seeing me control. This is the control. This is the what we call dome ops, and this is where all this stuff is controlled from. I'm controlling it from inside in a warm area, obviously. And in Arizona, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to control it from, to begin with, 2,500 miles away. And I'll be controlling the telescope here from where I am in Connecticut. I'll be controlling it out in Arizona. But the nice thing is, we can have both telescopes up at once. And I talked to some folks today, and I'm making the building big enough so we can have more than one pier in there, meaning more than one telescope. And believe it or not, I've already got that other pad location for the other telescope sold to someone who wants to put another telescope in there. So we're going to actually have support for this moving forward, I believe. And that's kind of nice. You know, it's really nice. So, and they just have to be willing to put their telescope out in the desert. But the building is it'll be foolproof. Water, that's all. And for those that I haven't told this to yet, you know how some of us, we don't like our weight. We want to drop some weight. So what I've done is, my friend Ket Torvaldsen in Norway. I toured Norway with her in August, and we spoke at many different places in Norway, and she did this thing where she would only drink water all day long, and that's it, for weeks. I was like, how can you do that? Well, I couldn't do that. And so what I did was I modified that particular approach, lifestyle. She would do it for like 15 days, 30 days, and she'd drop many, many pounds if she wanted to lose weight. Well, what I did is I just drank the water, and I drink water from morning until dinner time, and that's it. Nothing else. And in the past, just over a week and a quarter or so, I've lost over 10 pounds. Just like that. It's weight that your body doesn't want on it. I was 198, and this morning I was 186. See, there's those sneezes I tell you from the allergies, sorry. They come in clusters too, So now I'm at
Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, and it was, I hate to say it, to the people that have so much trouble losing weight. I don't want to say this was easy, but you know something? It really is. If you actually do it, I was resistant to it for years. I didn't want to do this at all, and I told her she was nuts for what she was doing, and then I just said, you know what? I'm a science guy. How else do you know if something's not worthwhile doing unless you try it and experiment yourself? So I did, and I'm happy to announce that I was wrong about it and that it works wonderfully. I have more energy than I've ever had. I walk a mile with my dog every day, maybe 2 miles actually, on a hilly path, a hilly field, in the woods, on trails. So it's actually, it gives you more energy. You're more physically fit. Hard to believe, but it works. So it's just drinking water. And like I said, I drink water all day long. And then at 5 o'clock, after 5, when it's dinner time, I eat a regular dinner, and that's great. Yep.
Mark, as somebody mentioned, doll eye in chat, sounds like you're describing intermittent fasting.
I don't know the definition of intermittent fasting.
You only eat during one rather narrow window during the day.
Okay, well, maybe that's what I'm doing. I don't know. But I can tell you that, everything in the body starts working better. It doesn't have any of the trans fats or saturated fats, meaning, in there, it's just drinking water, pure water. And I never had an appreciation for water, and I'm going to go to another object too, folks, just so you know I'm here for astronomy. I never had an appreciation for water so much until I couldn't drink any, because what's today? We're fast approaching the 5-year anniversary of the surgery I had, and after that surgery, which went haywire, I think most of you know that I woke up as a quadriplegic and profoundly blind, and I had to fight back. Well, I got it all back because that's a whole nother story, but I think I taught neurology something because they weren't optimistic about anything, and I turned around and walked in, ha, here I am, and they couldn't believe it, and I told them how I did it, and they're like, really? How that worked? Anyway, so the thing that's interesting is when I was lying there, I couldn't have any water. All I wanted was an ice chip, a chip of ice. Please give me a chip of ice. But I had a trach, I couldn't talk. So I'd look at something with my eyes wide and blink a lot, and they would get the idea, and then the nurse would say, oh, you want some ice? And I'm like, blink, 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 and she says, yeah, we can't give you that, because when you have a tracheotomy, a trach, the hole there, it's dangerous, because swallowing is a whole new world when you've got that. So it was really, really hard. But when I could have ice, they gave me ice. It was like heaven. Oh, my gosh. I could actually taste the water, which is really strange. And I never lost that appreciation. A cold glass of water is just like, wow, you savor it. It's almost like you're drinking a fine wine, and I don't drink wine. But if I did, I'd know how I would look. I'd look like this. So drinking the water wasn't that hard for me, to do that. And that's kind of why I think I started it. And it's really neat. It's really tasty, too. And it really, really works.
Top of the watershed, baby.
That's right.
Now, place I used to live, I was at the very top of the watershed of the Arkansas River.
Right, yeah.
This was the municipal water supply there came directly from the snowpack on not the Continental Divide, but from the top of the mountain range. And still, there was some mineralization of the water as it percolated down through the rocks and ran down the river.
But it gave you some flavor, no?
It does, yeah. And I think this is why they say New York water makes such good pizza. As they say, it's the water that makes the difference in the dough.
It could. I could see that. But the best pizzas comes from New Haven, Connecticut.
Why did I know you were going to say that?
Because a friend of mine...
Heard you say that before.
A friend of mine named Gorman, he did a movie on the best pizza in the United States, and he ended up settling on New Haven, Connecticut as the best pizza anywhere, well over New York. And there were 3 places in New Haven, Modern Pizza and 2 others, and that they were battling it out in a very friendly manner, all family run. And that made a huge difference too. Family run makes a big difference, So that said, I feel that if you're gonna have pizza, get it from New Haven, Connecticut. That's the best place.
May I make an observation here?
Please do.
You showed earlier, we see all the little red ovals sprinkled all over the screen.
Yes.
And we are still in Virgo, are we not?
We are.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. There's down at the bottom.
And for Amanda.
Folks, when we see all those little red spots in the sky, those are galaxies, as Mark said. But you see, they're kind of clustered there, and that is called the Virgo supercluster.
That's right. He's right. It's a great place.
That is like the local, or not the local, but the neighborhood, at least, center of mass for our universe. Our Milky Way galaxy is part of what's called the local group. It's just a local association of galaxies. We are all flying toward the Virgo supercluster because that's where all the gravitational mass is. We are being pulled right into that over the course of time.
That's right.
I don't think we have anything to worry about, but
no, we don't.
That's the local super center of mass, you might say, or the super Walmart of mass in our part of the universe.
That's right. This right here, this location he's talking about. And there's an amazing galaxy right near there. It's actually right here. Let me get rid of the now that you know the telescope's moving, you can see the telescope moving. I'm going to just dim that out for now. We're currently looking at a galaxy group called the Eyes, and they're over here. In this galaxy group, these are interesting galaxies. They're called active galaxies. We know there's lots of things going on in there that are very mysterious. And astrophysics is figuring them out little by little, and a lot of them have to do with star formation and the way stars are moving within the galaxy, the way galaxies are interacting with each other, and that's a really interesting process too. Daryl, do you? And this is I don't recall where this object is. The Antennae galaxies, are they anywhere? What constellation are those in? Do you remember?
I forget.
All right, I'll have to look them up because I want to check those out too if they're out. That's a stunning view.
I think someone mentioned that in chat
Did they?
a while ago, like shortly after we started. I thought I saw something about antenna, something. Maybe
Okay.
I was wrong.
All right.
Well, give me a second, I'll find out.
All right. Thanks, Daryl. Hey, Daryl, now you're nice and loud, so I think that's better. That mix on my side was probably at fault the entire time, so I apologize, folks, if that was me. All right, let's actually take a photo here and see what we get. I will do a 1-minute photo. No, I won't. I'm gonna do a acquisition photo. Make sure I caught it.
Okay, Mark. It is they are in the neighborhood.
That's
The
what I thought.
antennae are in Corvus,
That's what I
which
thought.
is
Okay.
just to
A
the
little
lower right
south,
of Virgo.
Yeah, good. All right, we'll check that out too, because I want to show you the Antennae galaxies. That is an example. What we're looking at when we look at those will be a snapshot in time of two massive island universes colliding with each other, and that is outstanding. Okay, now I want to show you this picture for one reason. Well, a million reasons, but initially, what I want you to see is how many galaxies there are visible in this shot. Can you see them all? Okay. There's one right there. See that one? All right. All right. We have one up there. Right here. Okay. See it right there? All right. We have one over here. Right there. All right. We have a fate one right here. We have another one over here, incidentally. And then I'll just come down here and do it this way. And then we have one over here. We have one here. We have, like I said, this one here, that one there, that one there, that one there, and that one there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there might be one here. But we know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. 6 whole galaxies in this view. And that is amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 galaxies in one shot. And this is what makes a supercluster, folks. A lot of mass. There's a tremendous amount of mass in each of these galaxies, and they're all overall gravitationally bound into this massive supercluster. And the most massive galaxy of them all isn't even in this view. We have to go somewhere else to see that, and we will. You know, I want to say hi to Rascally Rabbit, who's joined us. And why is Mark in the universe? Because I belong there, man. I belong out in the universe. I belong here. These are my people. Look, that galaxy down there, that belongs with me. This one up here, this faint one, that belongs to me. These two over there, I love them. They're my friends. That one way over there, yeah, I don't like him too much. But you know what? He's still fun. So that's why I'm out in the universe. Just to kind of make it a little bit more interactive. So
Yeah,
yes.
I answered him for you.
Oh, you did?
He said, why is Mark in the universe? And I said, well, first his parents met, then they fell in love.
Oh, that's so funny. Actually, maybe that's what he meant the whole time. That's funny. Oh, very cool, Rascally. Thanks for coming. Let's see now. If we come back here now, as you can see, the camera's pretty sensitive even by default, and you can't see any of these things with your naked eye. You really do need a powerful telescope. And once again, we're looking at these galaxies. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add our field of view. Okay, so this square red thing is roughly our field of view. And you can see these galaxies that we saw in there. Okay, now let's go look now. You said the antennae are in Corvus, and we should be pretty close to Corvus.
Just right there. That's Crater the Cup. They're on the right.
Yeah, and then,
that's Corvus right there.
Yeah,
Corvus is the crow.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see where the antennae are here. Do you know the NGC for the antennae?
Not offhand.
You should just say antennae galaxies, I'm sure.
Give me a second to get off.
All right. Hey, you gotta make it work, right? It's south of the Sombrero, so we're actually kind of in that neighborhood. I could actually just see if we might be able to find it this way. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's see if we can find it.
NGC 4038.
Okay.
NGC 4039. Also known as the ringtail galaxies.
These guys. All right. Well, we're gonna go there and check it out and see. I mean, I remember looking at this one other time, and we were able to see some of the detail, but I'm not sure. Well, it's about as high as it can be, you know, for us. So we go to a bright star down here. We're going to Minkar. This star here, and it's going to be centered up, probably like the other one, and then we're going to jump over to the antennae, and we'll see what we can pull out of that. But this is what they look like. I mean, they're really, really cool. I want to see if we can see the tails. They are pretty low, if you consider that what we're looking at here. Yeah. All right, and off we go.
Kev wants to know if there's an Oreo cookie galaxy. I'm sure that's a no, but do we have any cookie galaxies? We have some tasty treats up there, I think.
If there's not, there should be.
That's right, huh? I think you're right.
What did we have? There was something really odd. Was it?
There's a hamburger.
Popcorn?
Galaxy.
There's hamburger.
Okay,
galaxy.
a hamburger. That might have been one. Hamburger might have been one. I was thinking hot dog or something.
We can show them
Do
the
we have
hamburger
a popcorn
galaxy.
one?
I don't remember that, but we can show them the hamburger galaxy, right? Isn't that up in Leo?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we should be able to show them that.
I asked for a cookie and someone offered me it.
And the hamburger galaxy looks sort of like an extra fat version of the Needle Galaxy, NGC 4565, which is in Colobaranices, also up in part of the sky. That's always a good one to look at.
Yep. Okay, let's do.
Anyway, this has nothing to do with me being a vegetarian, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to drop out of the call for a little while.
Oh,
I'm asked to be part of another interview that starts in about 5 minutes. So if you guys are still streaming when it's over, and I'm welcome, I'd like to come back. I'm not sure how long the interview is going to go for, though.
You're always welcome, and you know that. But thank you, sure. Okay, sure, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Let's all thank Amanda for coming over.
Okay, everybody, enjoy the rest of the show. I will hope to be back. I'll be over at Earth Radio.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, Daryl. Good night, Mark.
Okay.
Talk to you guys later.
We'll talk to you a little
Take
later.
care, Amanda.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, I was a little premature in heading over there, and I think by now the telescope has obtained a guide star, so now I'll do 25 seconds at 10,000 ISO. ISO is sensitivity of the camera. Our camera goes from 50 ISO to 409,000 ISO. Typical cameras go to about 6,400 and maybe 12,800 typical cameras. Okay, the higher end professional cameras will go up to 51,200, and that's actually really important, especially for some of the things you might be looking to do. Okay, we still have a little problem here, but notice the quality of this is actually pretty good, and I think we're getting some dome interference here. I think we're getting a little bit of an edge from the dome. I may have to move the dome, Daryl.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I do. But I would like to get a shot without any guiding problems whatsoever. So I'm going to try one more, but I'll go to 12,800. And then I'll go move the dome as well, because I'd like to get the antennae. Those are really cool. And as the night goes on, of course, everything's moving toward the west, which means the Earth is rotating toward the east. And as that happens, we have to move the dome. Now, when we're set up in the Sonoran Desert, that will not have to happen, because the telescope will be in a building where the entire roof slides off. And that slide-off roof is going to be very, very important. This is actually a pretty cool image.
It is.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. Look at that. You can see the detail. You can see the core of both galaxies. And I think once I move the dome, we'll be able to get rid of our red smudge that's in the way. And while I'm at it, while I'm here, I'm also going to run our all-sky camera 2, which I don't have running. I want to have that running. So let me just quickly start running the all-sky cam, so we can have all-sky images as well to consult during the course of the night. Okay, and apply auto processing. And we're gonna go do 40-second exposures with no pause in between. We're just gonna take picture after picture after picture, so we'll see everything that's in the sky. We won't miss it. All right, let me go move the dome, Daryl. Entertain the crowd, and I shall return. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right, if I come back and everybody's gone, I'll know you hijacked everybody and took them out for like pizza and stuff.
Not my fault.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
He hasn't given me control of the telescope yet, people.
Well,
He hasn't given me the keys, you know.
oh, is that something you want? Because I wouldn't have any problem with that.
Oh, no, probably not. I'm just kidding.
I'm not. I thought that's actually not a bad idea. On nights I can't stream, you can do it for me.
I don't know about that. Well, you know, maybe if and when we do a Messier marathon, or, you know, if we need to take shifts or something.
I think we'll need to take shifts, yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right
That
back.
might come in handy. Very good.
Yeah, all right, I'll be right back.
So anyway, hello everybody. Hi Tara. Hello Kathleen. Hello Marianne. Hello Rabbit. Bye Amanda. Everything's better with Amanda. I hope she comes back. When we talked about the Virgo supercluster a little while ago being the local sort of center of gravitational influence in our part of the universe, and us in the Milky Way being part of our local group of galaxies, are all flying in the direction of the Virgo supercluster. There is another object out there that you used to hear about more, and I never seem to hear about it anymore. It's called the Great Attractor. And it turns out that while we are flying toward the Virgo supercluster, that the Virgo supercluster itself is being pulled towards something even more massive called the Great Attractor. Used to hear about it a lot back in the days. I looked it up the other day just because I got curious. It is, let's see, it's 150 to 250 million light years away from us in the Milky Way, in the direction of the constellations Triangulum Australe, the Southern Triangle, and let's see, it's part of the apparent central gravitational point of the Laniakea supercluster. Located in the so-called zone of avoidance, the Great Attractor is difficult to observe in visible wavelengths, due to the obscuring effects of the galactic plane. Anyway, it's way down south, I think southeast from Virgo. But that is what's, while the Virgo supercluster is pulling us toward it, the Virgo supercluster is being pulled toward the Great Attractor. Ta-da! And there's probably something even more massive out there that's pulling the Great Attractor toward it. Gas mask, no doubt. Probably tons of supermassive black holes. Mark might show us tonight M87, which has a supermassive black hole, and that's the one that they imaged last year.
That's right.
First time they directly imaged a black hole.
55 million light years away too, and it was actually really beautifully done, and most importantly, it was predicted how it would look, and the image they got was exactly according to the prediction based on the physics of the black holes, which shows our understanding to this point of this phenomena is actually pretty good.
Yep, and I guess everybody points back toward the movie Interstellar too. The black hole, as it was portrayed in that movie, was very much like that.
Yeah, well, they used the physics of how black holes might look, and Kip Thorne was the guy that was the. Kip Thorne's an astrophysicist, and Kip Thorne knew what they looked like, and he was the consultant for the movie. And I've told the story how I sat with Kip Thorne for about 3 hours, and we talked about black holes, and he talked about time travel and an argument he had with Stephen Hawking about time travel with black holes. And it was interesting to hear his perspective and how Hawking felt that what he was talking about couldn't possibly be true, but it turned out that it was very likely that Thorne was right. And when they traded theses about these things, when they traded the thesis about whether time travel was possible, time travel in a sense. In other words, when your ship was going into this black hole, Thorne said, I'd see it emerging from the complementary white hole, which is the other side, the exit point for a black hole, if there was one theoretical. And that theoretical exit point would actually be a point where we'd see the ship coming out before we actually went into the black hole. And Hawking said that was not possible, and Thorne said it was. They traded not barbs, but papers describing it. And Hawking looked at Thorne's paper, Thorne looked at Hawking's paper, and they switched sides. Thorne said, oh yeah, you're right, Stephen. And Stephen Hawking said, yeah, you're right, Kip. And they traded positions on this very, very fundamental matter. So you can see how even the greatest minds on our planet don't agree sometimes.
That's funny right there.
It is. It is. This is beautiful. This is this is the Antennae galaxies, and we're not seeing that. We can see the tails a little bit here, but I want to. I'm actually still doing a relatively short exposure, but look at that detail. That's really nice. Not bad at all. And we might. You know what I didn't do tonight? Which is crazy. I haven't focused the telescope yet. It looks like it's relatively focused, doesn't it?
Hello, David Schmidt.
Dave Schmidt, how are you? Oh, gas mask. I don't know if it was a supermassive black hole blowout, okay? Because as far as we know, when a black hole is created, it doesn't ever explode. It actually deteriorates and eventually evaporates. Supermassive black holes, of course, are growing all the time because there's an influx of mass that is going into them. So that said, it's going to be one of those things where we don't know for sure what happened at the very beginning, but we know enough about black holes to know that black holes don't ever blow out or explode. But I'll tell you, your idea is probably as good as any, because there's so much we don't know. And I won't sit there and say you're dead wrong, you're wrong, because we actually can't say that, can we?
When you talk about black holes evaporating,
Yeah,
so to speak, I think was the term you used.
I did.
You're talking on the terms of trillions of years, though, aren't you?
Yeah, well, in some cases, yeah. If they're really small, it could take a shorter than that. If
Yes.
there's no mass going into them, it can take shorter than that. If there's mass falling into them, then there may not be a case where we're going to see that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because they may never evaporate if there's always mass to keep them solvent, so to speak. So, you know what I mean? So okay, let me, there we go. Okay, I just had to get to, here we go, that's where I want to be. There's my focus dot, and so I just have to grab this. There we go. I'm just trying to bring a star over to focus. It's almost here. There it is. All right, here we go. Actually, that just got sharper right there. But I'm going to go past it and come back. There we go. Now I go back. You can hear the telescope making noises in the background. That's the focus. There's a delay from the telescope because the control commands are going up to a cloud, and then they're coming back down, and the sound is like the last thing to get transmitted, so we don't ever hear that fully. Now, what I see on the screen is instantaneous to when I'm actually making control corrections, and the sound follows up. All right. Here we go. All right, so that's out. Yeah, that's in. I'm actually, I'm contemplating writing a program to actually take my images from the camera and dynamically focus them, so I don't have to. Yeah, there's focusing systems out there that I could use, but they all depend on you having a particular astronomical camera to use. I don't want that. I want to use the live type feed from any DSLR that has the capability, like the one I'm using. And so it's important to, that way you actually don't care who makes the camera. All you care about is the image that you can capture right here on the screen of this little area, and let the focus work until this spot is as small as it can be, so there's no pixel leaks, and let it go back and forth until it finds the optimal focus. Why is that important? It's important because over the course of a night, the telescope will go out of focus because the temperature is changing. That's not good, you know? So that's the whole reason why I do that. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay here.
That's why they make telescopes out of carbon fiber.
You got it. That's exactly right. My telescope is not made out of carbon fiber. But it's okay. I like it. I like the fact that it can do the self-guiding without a hassle. That's the most important part. Okay. All right, let's see how that looks. I'm going to do a 20-second shot at 12,800 of this location. That star, basically. The antennae are out here somewhere, so we're not going to look at those yet. Dave Schmidt, that's sort of correct. Actually, he says if a black hole is just that, a hole, then they cannot blow out, so to speak. It would be it would be the matter in their immediate neighborhood that would be doing the exploding or imploding. Well, yeah, that's correct. And I think what's important here, and these images look pretty good. I think what's important here is to understand that when you actually look at or study something called a black hole, what is a black hole? You know, it's really what you're looking at is a very powerful gravitational field. That's what you're looking at when you're looking at a black hole. A really powerful gravitational field. So, what does a gravitational field do to light? Okay, and that's sort of a trick question. I'm letting you know that right up front. Right? The answer is kind of stranger than fiction. It doesn't affect light at all. Yet, how come a black hole can keep light from escaping it if it doesn't affect it? The answer, again, stranger than fiction. The answer is that you know the answer, right?
I know.
Oh, okay. Let's pick on the guy in the back that's fiddling with his lunchbox. Go ahead, Daryl.
Oh, that would be unfair. Let the people guess.
Oh, okay. Well, if people want to guess, I think they. I think that's cool. You guys go ahead. Now, the question again comes down to, why is it that we see that light cannot escape a black hole if the gravity of the black hole doesn't affect light? Okay, that's the question. You handle that. Daryl, can you see the chat at all?
I can, yes.
Okay, so it's you're looking at it on YouTube or on my feed to you?
On your feed.
Okay, good. So it's pretty good tonight for that. Great.
Interestingly, it was fuzzy again when we first started, and it cleared right up when Amanda showed up again, like I mentioned before.
And then it stayed cleared up, you said.
Yeah, and it's still crisp now.
Okay, shh, don't say a word. All right, we're going to go 1 minute. Rascally Rabbit says gravity lensing. You're not that answer per se, but you're on the right thinking track. So, look for more. Black holes, as far as we understand, are not the cause of dark energy. The word dark has nothing to do with black holes. It has to do with the fact that it's like a black box. We don't understand what's in it. And that's the meaning of dark energy, as well as dark matter. We can't find dark matter. We can't find dark energy, but we know that the universe is mostly dark energy, at least with our current understanding. There's some papers out there on the APJ, or the Astrophysical Journal, that seem to indicate that dark energy might not really even need to be there after all, but we think it might be. Yeah, come on, Chad, help him out.
Told you so.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daryl. You there? I cannot hear you, Daryl. Something's wrong with the connection. No, I just think that Daryl doesn't like dark energy, but I think it's because he's just afraid that it's dark, and he's afraid of the dark. I mean, who isn't? Okay, 1 minute a shot is coming out right here. Let's see what we get. Yeah. Oh, look at that! Wow.
Very nice, crisp.
Look at that. The focus. See, the effort to focus is very important, folks.
Excellent.
Wow, that's the look at the knottiness inside of the detail inside these, and undoubtedly the tails will be there when we process. Okay, this is our object for the night, to spend time with. Now, what I like about this, okay, is if you see this area right here, this area that curls around here, okay, and you got this nucleus of a galaxy, and you got this one. There's two here, right? Two, and they're colliding, and you can see a little bit of a tail over here, over on this end here. You can start to see a tail over here, and we're gonna try and bring that out. But I like this guy. This is really cool. I really do like that. So we're gonna try and make that a little crisper and with a set of exposures. These are called the Antennae galaxies. and they'll be here through Friday. No, I'm just kidding. So let's do another shot like that. And
Certainly looks like a target worthy of exposing multiple,
you got it.
taking multiple shots and stacking that.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I think it makes sense. Hey, Mal, how you doing? And Rascally, I don't know if I actually said hi to you. Hello. Thank you for coming here. Yeah, we're actually... These are the Antennae galaxies, and if you want to see what they look like, okay, this is a picture that's not that good, but you can see how we have... They go this way, and they go that way. That's the result of a collision between two galaxies. And it's just really stunning. Stunning. So we're going to be looking for these tails here and here. What I thought was a tail over here is not. But look at the detail. Holy cow. Really, really pleased.
Mark, did Tara get the answer?
I don't know. Let me see what she said. She said, so pretty. Escape velocity. You know, Tara, that's not true. But nice. Okay, nice try. But in the event horizon is very important here. Yes, so you got that part right. The event horizon is extremely important. Amal says, light too fast to catch. Hello. Hello. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. But it's actually... and here's the other caveat with light. Light doesn't have mass. Okay, and gravity only acts on mass. So how can light be trapped by a black hole? Okay, that's a rephrase of the question. I'll give you a few more minutes before I blind you with science. Good heavens, you're beautiful. Blinded me with science. Yeah.
Thomas Dolby.
You got it.
Love that album.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Our submarines.
Yeah. Okay, that's another beauty. Let me go make sure. Good. Take another one. Now, technically, the way this works, guys, is you take a number of shots of the same object, all right, and you have all this light that's coming here, but you also have a lot of this noise. Okay, here's a noise. See, there's noise here. In order to get rid of that noise, you have to basically sum together a bunch of these objects, okay, and stack them together. So you overlay them one on top of the other, and then what you do is that actually averages out all this noise and promotes all of this detail. And this is something that is very important that we want to do, and that's exactly what we're going to try and do tonight. Okay, we have a tail coming down here, we have a tail going up there, so I want to be able to pull those out when we do the processing. Then what I'm going to do is, and this will be done after we conclude the stream, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take and do a set of photos that will just be of the dark frame, it's called, and I'm going to roll the filter wheel through to just a black circular filter I have in there, and it will block all light from coming to the camera. I'm going to take a number of photos with that, and those dark frames, as they're called, will be used to get rid of some of the noise of the camera as well. And with and without dark frames really makes quite a difference. Really makes quite a difference. I think this image is going to end up getting thrown away because it's not quite perfect. But that's okay. We're going to not do that now. We're going to actually just go through. So yeah, getting back to the antennae, let's talk about the antennae, right? These guys are an amazing pair of colliding galaxies, right? And they are quite far away, okay? These things are 91 million light years away, probably among the furthest things that we've viewed in SkyTour LiveStream to date. are these two galaxies. All right, but you see them. You actually see how they are, how they're actually causing the disruption of each other here. These galaxies may have been two spiral galaxies, but this shape is a snapshot in time of what happened to them in the past. And so they actually ended up being two spirals, and when they interact with each other, they collide, and their mutual gravity starts to rend them and pull them apart, and then you capture them in a snapshot. And one of the simulation locations, if you stop the simulation of these galaxies in collision, is this shape. You see this very shape. It's the coolest thing, and it actually makes a lot of sense when you see it. So I think we'll be able to check that out some more too. There are galaxy simulations out there and galaxy simulators, and it'd be kind of cool to look at those. And we are still good here. Let me just pull this down a little bit. Get back. Okay. Now let's come back here and do one more picture. I'm telling you, they're looking good, so there's no reason not to do this. And by the way, just so you know, the sky is sort of a light color here, and the color is because of the fact that we actually do have a fairly low object in the sky we're staring at right here. All right, if we go back to our planetarium program, we can see. Let me just take this out of here. How do we get rid of those? I do know there was a way to get rid of those. I'm trying to get rid of the red ascension lines, but okay, we're at these are only 28 degrees above the horizon, so they're actually fairly low. So that's kind of tough, you know. It doesn't give us, it doesn't give us the best view of the object. But in Arizona, by the way, that object's going to be a lot higher in the sky too, so that's pretty cool, by another 10 degrees at least. Dr. Fox 2000. Which software do you use stacking your images? Well, I actually use several. I use Sequator. I use Deep Sky Stacker. Sometimes I do it manually with Photoshop, which is a chore, but you know what? Sometimes it's called for. And I've also written a lot of my own image processing, actions for Photoshop. So I have my own selection of tools that I can just one click and it does a billion different things to do things like remove the color cast, alter this, bring the nebula out, highlight things. And I also bought some tools like astronomy tools and a number of other tools that can be used within Photoshop, which are nice and do some really, really nice work. Okay, this is a good shot. We'll go back and do it again. Now, welcome to astronomy. We do this over and over. I mean, sometimes you take the same picture of the same object for weeks, literally weeks. I'm not going to do that to you. No. I'm not going to do that to you. But I would like to make it clear that sometimes that is what's called for. And like, for instance, when I was getting my degree in astronomy, what I did was what's called photometry. I took detectors and I pointed them at stars like this one and like this one here and like this one and maybe like that one. And I would check their brightness, and I would look at the brightness every single night. It was clear. That was my research, and I did a thesis on this. And these stars, I found that were speeding out of the galaxy at high speed. It wasn't random selection. These stars were picked because they seemed to be indicating there was some weird stuff going on. And they were called runaway B stars. So, you have O, B, A, F, G, K, M. And if Amanda was here, she'd be mad because I said it and I didn't let her. But, she's come a long way. So, basically, look at that. I didn't even touch it. It blew up. I'm going to just... I will fix that. It's amazing how that happens sometimes.
From the star destroyers.
I know, right?
Da, da, da,
Well, It's okay. I should be able to bring it back here in a moment. There we go. See? The first time that happened, you may recall, it took 5 minutes to figure it all out. And now, I just roll right past it and come right through. If I didn't say a thing, you wouldn't know what happened. This looks really cool too. This is going to be nice. There's a little bit of movement there. Not bad, considering we're using high power and we're taking a picture for 1 minute. The Earth is rotating out from under the galaxies if you let it, and because the Earth is rotating toward the east, and that makes the sky move toward the west, of course. And as the Earth is rotating toward the east, unless your telescope is following the stars, that is, unless the telescope is actually moving slowly to the west to follow the direction of the stars, then you're going to have streaks on your longer exposures. And the longest exposure you can take with a 50 millimeter lens, which is a small one on the camera, you just put the DSLR camera on a tripod, point it up in the sky, take a long shot. The longest you can get is about 30 seconds. And even that one up close will have little tiny dashes for stars. All right, because the Earth's moving at the equator about 1,000 miles an hour, and it's kind of actually over 1,000, but not by far. And at that rate that it's moving, God, that's beautiful. Wow. At the rate that's moving, you'll get this movement. You'll see the movement. And we actually look at things that are moving across the sky, and you've been here with us, right? And Daryl, you've been here watching Comet Atlas Y4 move through the sky through the course of the night. We can actually see it move, a distance from like here to here, over the course of a night, across the stars. Maybe a little less than that. But then there's asteroids that come through. Some are NEOs, which are near Earth objects. And sometimes they can move over 1 degree in the sky per hour. I mean, that's pretty close. It doesn't mean it's only 500 miles. It means it's many thousands of miles away, but it's moving quite fast. So when it does that, you can see them. We just had a near miss with one that came. It went over the Pacific by about 4,300 miles. And that's it. Now, the moon is 240,000 miles away, and this came over the Pacific at 4,300 miles. That's pretty significant, and that's a significant closeness. So, the problem we had was we didn't catch it until it was here, and that asteroid was called 2020 JJ, and I just did a radio show about that last night with another host on KGRA. But we talked about near-Earth asteroids on our previous show. Remember that, Daryl? We talked about a couple of asteroids that were close to us, BX-12 and ES-4, I believe it was. ES-3, ES-4.
I remember the show, yes. I don't remember the designations of the object.
Oh, yeah. Hey there, Cypher 2. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, so it was pretty interesting, because we actually had, we had to talk about a lot of things. We did talk about a black hole that was found near Earth, so to speak. And what's near Earth? Near Earth is 1,000 light years. Now you say, what? Come on, 1,000 light years. And you might say, doesn't that mean the light from that thing took 1,000 years to get here because it's so far away? Yeah, it did. Well, the light from the stars that it's orbiting, and that's what got here. We don't see any light from the black hole, So what we would see is that there was some energy interacting with the black hole. That's how black holes are typically found, because there's radio sources that are unexplainable, and it turns out they're black holes. Because at the event horizon, I still haven't answered that question. I still haven't seen anyone answer it. But why light doesn't get affected by gravity, yet a black hole, which is massive gravity, still can keep light from getting out? And how is it possible if light isn't affected?
Can I go ahead and take a shot at it?
Yes, you may take a shot at it now, because no one's able to get it, it seems.
The fabric of space-time and the within the event horizon is so strongly warped by the black hole that the black hole is basically closed off from the rest of the universe, and the light cannot escape.
That example that he gives is absolutely correct. Daryl, that is correct, and he knew it was, I'm sure, because Daryl is fastidious about his astronomy, as I am. Well, the thing is, if you're a car going on a rolling hill, your car follows the hill, goes up and down, follows the contour of the hill. In the same way, if you're space and a large gravitational field bends that space into a curve, okay, like this, well, then if you're light, you're going to follow that curve, because light follows space. So if it follows the direction and motion in space, the curvature of space, then light doesn't have to be affected by gravity. The space that light requires for its travel is affected by gravity, and light follows space. So yes, if space is curved, light becomes curved. And that's exactly what we see. It's a two-step process, I say pretty often, so that's pretty interesting how that works. And I really think that we're have come a long way when it comes to this. Let me look at the all sky. All sky is looking pretty cool. I just have to make some changes to. I want to try and bring out some more detail here.
Tara.
Yes.
Excuse me, Tara. My first thought was the same as yours. Basically, that the escape velocity of the black hole was greater than the speed of light, and that is often a general answer. But specifically, it's the warpage of space-time within the event horizon.
Yeah, when you say that, yeah.
And
rascally, that's correct. Light is basically hitching a ride on the shape of the fabric of space. That's correct. And if it's highly curved, it hitches a ride on that. So go ahead.
If you've ever seen the old black and white images or film of guys riding those motorcycles of doom, they'd run. It was sort of like a barrel-shaped tracks, barrel standing on end. And they'd get up to speed, and those guys would be doing laps around the inside of the barrel. And that, of course, was due, I guess, to centrifugal force, or centripetal force.
Yes, centripetal acceleration.
But, the idea is the same. And as far as that light is concerned, it's still moving in a straight line, I bet.
Well, the light doesn't know any different. The light is just following space. And so if space is curved, the light path gets curved. And if it was to go straight, regardless of the fabric of space, it would mean that our model of physics is absolutely dead wrong. It doesn't mean that light's violating something. It means that light's doing what it should be doing, but we're not understanding what it's supposed to be doing. However, that's not true. What we see is really a very fascinating outcome for how light handles things, and how this fabric of space gets bent. And that galaxy that we've been talking about that does that bending is 55 million light years away in Virgo, kind of just north of us where we are here. And that is a galaxy called M87, Messier 87, in Virgo. We will try and look at that shortly, after I get another clear set of shots here. These shots are actually coming out fairly well, and I'm really pleased, because sometimes some come out good, some come out crappy, some come out good, and you got to take way more than you want to get the good shots, you know what I mean? But we're actually getting some pretty good shots for something this low in the sky, frankly. And I'm pleased with that.
I hope you send me this image when you get it processed.
Well, of course I will. Why, you're someone that should see the images that we process here. You're good at, and you're enjoyable. You're a good person to have on board, man.
Oh,
You know that. I mean,
well,
I really enjoy having
yeah,
you on our show.
folks. I don't do Facebook or stuff like that. So Mark has to share his images with me via Skype, and I appreciate him doing that.
I'm glad, because I don't mind showing you. I like when you look at them. Let me just... I'm looking up some... I missed something here that I'm trying to figure out.
Mark, excuse me just a moment, please.
All right, man. We'll be here. Okay. Yay. Is that what I wanted? I think it is. Okay. So let's see. Okay, there we go. We got more on the antenna right there. We're going to do one more shot of the antennae. I really want to do like 20 more shots of the antennae, but I'm not going to subject you to that. I'll do these later on after I close up the observatory. Well, after I close up the stream, and then I'll close up the observatory later. I mean, it's a beautiful night, right? Still a beautiful night? Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah. Yes, sirree. And you can see a few things here, right? Like right here. Here's the Big Dipper. See the Big Dipper? Here's the bowl of the Big Dipper, and there's the tail. All right. And that tail points all the way up to here, all the way up to Arcturus, which is this yellow star that'll be there. This is a black and white image. And then over in this, after that, with Arcturus, out here we have Hercules, where the great cluster is located, the great globular cluster that we often look at. I often say the spring sky is kind of boring, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I accept it. Yes, David, I'm using a virtual tool here to help illustrate things. Like if I want to talk about the antenna galaxies, I say these are the antenna galaxies. See this, these two guys, these are the collision. This is one nucleus, this is another nucleus. So I can get right in there and show you things, and it makes it easier to illustrate. Just sort of a fun thing. I don't have to show it like this, but it's better than trying to use a cursor to point things out, because it looks like a little hand all the time, and that's really a pain in the butt. All right, couple more.
Back.
Hey, all right, man.
Amanda didn't get to see the antennae before she left earlier, did she?
No, she should not. She did not. We didn't look at that.
I bet she'd really get a kick.
Yeah, she left before we actually looked at it.
Well, hopefully you share it with her too. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
But
I
I
will.
think she would have really got a kick out of this. That's just such a cool looking object.
Yeah. Now here's the other thing too for folks to think about. When you look at this collision of galaxies, one of the things that you say to yourself is, could these galaxies still host life somehow, even though they're under collision? And the answer is absolutely. Why not? Because they've collided, but guess what? The stars are really so far from each other that they just pass through each other. They don't even come close. They don't even do anything other than let their gravitation alter their shape over time. And just so you know, we're going to see that again with the Andromeda Galaxy. The Andromeda Galaxy is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger in our sky over the next several, I forget when, is it 2 billion years? About 2 billion years when the Andromeda Galaxy is going to collide with the Milky Way.
I think so.
And then we're going to basically be under collision with the Andromeda Galaxy. And you know what? At that time, the creatures, the people, the beings that live within this galaxy or the Andromeda Galaxy won't even know, because their lifespans will probably be about the same length, as they ever were. And unless they live for millions of years, which I doubt, they're going to end up seeing their sky as two Milky Ways and not even know the difference. They may say, oh, well, we believe we're a galaxy that's colliding with another galaxy, and it won't change anything. It won't alter the life. There is a chance that that's possible, that it could, but I don't know. Dave Schmidt, thanks, man. Thank you for coming. I know you got a class to teach, and we will talk soon, man. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that they're back in school, too. I'm very glad. Okay, let's go.
I always thought it was interesting that though the two galaxies basically pass right through each other.
Yeah.
Sort of like two swarms of insects,
Yeah, exactly.
That still there would be like a gravitational interaction, and particular stars could get flung out of the galaxy. And say that happened to us a couple of billion years from now. Well, that could, fling us up out of the galactic plane, and we might have a heck of a view of both galaxies as they interact, like the antennae are now.
Yeah, and if it happened, quickly, then we would have like a reaction that would be pretty cool. It's like, wow, that's neat. Okay, but it might not happen quickly, So I'm going bright light for just a minute because I'm going to show you something. If you didn't see my post on Facebook earlier today, I want to share a little something, and for this I will take off. I will take off that background setup. Okay. All right now. Okay. So basically, what I'm going to show you is something, we've heard about 3D printers. We think 3D printers have been around. Obviously, they've been around for quite a while. Okay. But one of the things that 3D printers haven't been able to do is to print things very detailed. Okay. What you see back there, that right there, that's a 3D printer back there. And of course, I blurred it on you, and I didn't mean to. Let me drop that down a little. That's a 3D printer, but it uses filament. It takes a line of plastic material in, and it feeds it through like a hot glue gun. Well, that guy right there, that one right there, that cylinder, that's also a 3D printer. However, it's actually an SLA printer. SLA printers, stereolithography, or DLP, actually, digital light, they actually are able to do far more detail. And I've always wanted to print the moon in 3D. Now, I made 3D crater plates on that guy back there, and they look beautiful. However, check out what our moon looks like from this printer. I don't know if you can see it. I want to make that focus. I don't know if I can get that even close enough to actually make it focus. But it's actually a really, really detailed moon, complete with the seas. And then if we go to the dark side, let's say the other side of the moon, you can see all the craters on this side of the moon, and they are actually extremely accurate. You can see the Aristarchus Plateau with this, and Copernicus crater. Okay, here's the Aristarchus Plateau, which is kind of difficult to see. It's a little spot. Okay, and then Copernicus with its rays. Okay, now that's a hole that I used because I printed this hollow, so I actually put a hole in there so I could drain out the excess material that was going to still be liquid inside. Now, after I made that, I had to actually cure it with a UV light because that's how this process works. And I have to say, this has been an eye-opener. It's been amazing because I had no idea how well it was going to print. I printed a moon, and I was astonished at the detail. I was like, oh, wow. And I had to really look twice and say, man, that really looks beautiful. Is that the Aristarchus Plateau? That's such a tiny crater compared to this tiny moon. And yeah, it was the Aristarchus Plateau. And Tycho looks beautiful. I put Tycho in here as well. You can see, well, you can't see it now. I did a post on Facebook, so you can go look and see it. I said I took pictures. Of the moon with my cell phone, which is not a lie. And I said, and I stretched my arms a whole lot, and I actually was able to see the far side. and then showed pictures of the model. So anyway, that's how I did that. So if you have an interest in 3D printing, let me know, and I will tell you where you can get a printer like that one. I bought it on I think it was Amazon, and the company is called Antennae, A-N-Y, Cubic, C-U-B-I-C. And this is the Photon S. It's the successor to the Photon SLA printer. And it was really, really cool. Well, Rascally says eventually we're going to lose the moon, so appreciate it now. Thank you, Rascally. That's wonderful. The only problem is, whereas you say that is true, actually, we are going to lose the moon, but unfortunately, the time it's going to take for the moon to migrate away, because it is moving further away every year by 2 centimeters. Not a whole lot, but 2 centimeters a year, you add it up, and you say, well, hey, before long, the moon is going to vanish entirely. It's going to be not gravitationally bound to the Earth. That is true. That is true. However, that time is going to be so long from now that the sun will have gone into a red giant stage and swallowed the Earth anyway by that point. So, it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah. We're taking another picture here, so these are beautiful. Go ahead, Daryl.
You want to see, I guess you could call it transformative technology. What 3D printing, if it's not doing it now, or they're starting to do it now, where it's going to be in the future. Entirely new construction techniques, fabrication, you name it. You've probably seen these. I think there's videos on YouTube of they're building houses with 3D printing now.
Yep. I was going to just mention that.
Yeah, they plug the blueprints into the controller, and their building material might be cement, concrete,
That's right.
And it sits there and it pumps out layer by layer, and it builds sort of like the modern fancy equivalent of an Adobe house.
Yeah, it does. And I've seen them. I've seen the videos in action too. And that's actually really cool. Now, the other place, and in my book, The Populated Universe, which discusses how we have to progress and where we're going to go to, on the planet. As we progress, we have to leave the planet and become a spacefaring race eventually. And it talks about the prospects of extraterrestrial life, having done so already and having found us. So it's a book that talks about those kinds of things. Basically, life in the universe is the rule, not the exception, is kind of what the premise of the book is, and its subtitle. And in the book, I talk about the fact that eventually we're going to have the ability to literally construct human organs. A bio 3D printer that's going to print material that is compatible with your body's tissue. And it will print a new heart. It'll print a new piece of a lung. It'll print a new liver. It'll print the new materials based on the fact that it's going to use stem cells, most likely, in order to identify which organ it's going to be duplicating, and then it'll either be told or programmed to be a liver cell or a heart cell. And that, I think, is going to be a really incredible breakthrough when that happens. And there's no reason to think that can't happen. There's no reason to expect that won't happen. Because the people that are doing this, the places that are experimenting in 3D technology, have this in mind. This is where they want to go with it. So
it's the future.
It is. Isn't that? It sounds like a song riff from a movie.
Mark, I'm watching your image down in the bottom left-hand corner. You look kind of purple right now, and
I do. Yes.
You're just flickering like a fireworks display or something. It's really funny. I know we talked before the stream not to do what a certain person did, maybe, who shall remain unnamed, but this looks almost like, if you plugged in some of those silly filters that what is it, Snapchat or something, where it puts on puppy dog noses and
Yes.
cat ears and stuff like that. And then Google had the really fancy one. You could make some pretty wild looking pictures.
Yes, I realize, and I'm just trying to give myself a transparent background so that I can join the view and talk about it with a little bit more interactivity.
Yeah. Well,
you
it
know.
looks like your hair's on fire right now.
Oh, it's up to the top. Yeah, well, that's kind of unfortunate. But
I think it's cool.
well, I don't want it to be a distraction either.
Well, while we're waiting, as you're shooting your exposure.
My hair's on fire. What's going on? Yeah.
Just having fun.
Yeah, sure. I don't have any problem with that. Oh, that's why. I was looking. There's one light that stayed blue. That's crazy. Okay, that's better. All right. Well, see, now that's what I needed to know. Why was that? I was just trying to see what my lights are doing. Hang on. There we go. There we are. Oh man, these Antennae galaxies are really looking good. I'm really pleased with how this is coming out. Very much so. There we go. Okay, now we have a little bit brighter light on me, and it's a little more red. Okay, let's come off of here and go to a new object. What do you say? Wow, I think I heard a collective "yay" out in the chat there. Oh. And now let's see, Daryl. We're going to out of Corvus. We're coming back up. We're going to go to at least M87. I know we're talked about.
Yeah.
Okay. So we looked at the Dust Devil Galaxy, and now let's come up here.
There it is.
Yeah, that's and we're actually gonna. Before we do that, though, I want to look at this galaxy. This is another favorite of mine. The Black Eye Galaxy, folks. If you haven't seen this before, you're in for a treat. It's actually only 24 million light years away, and it's a galaxy that's actually a fairly tightly wound spiral. We rate our spirals by an A, B, and a C. A is tightly wound. Actually, O or 0 is very, very tightly wound. You can't even see a spiral. And A is tightly wound spirals, B is looser wound spirals, and C is sort of disheveled spirals. M33 in Triangulum is an SC type galaxy. S being spiral, capital S. All right, and the C is a little small c. Andromeda is an SB galaxy. It's a tighter wound spiral, but it's not an SA. Now, a galaxy like ours is an S, but it also has a capital B next to it, a capital S, capital B for barred, B-A-R-R-E-D, a barred spiral. And that means that the nucleus of our galaxy extends a little bit. So it gets a little bit of an extension, and the spiral arms come off of these extensions as well. And we went for a long time thinking we were an SB galaxy, that is to say, a spiral that was semi-loose spiral. And then we had this revelation in looking at the nuclear area of our galaxy, down where Sagittarius A is, the supermassive black hole, that there is another structure within our galaxy that has been unexplained, and that is the way the nucleus looks. Well, it turns out that the nucleus of our galaxy looks the way it does because it's extended and long. So we had to change our own classification. It's like living in a house for 150 years and then finally getting to look at it and say, wait a minute, I don't live in a cape, I live in a ranch, or something. It's like noticing your house is different. It's a sort of a weird thing. And that's kind of what happened with us. Let's go to the Black Eye Galaxy right now. And let's get the telescope running so we can actually See what's going on. Sorry about that noise. That's pretty loud, isn't it? Yeah. All right. And we're bringing in a star that is going to be used for our precision tracking and object finding routine. And which star are we using now? Let's see. Where are we? Oh wow, we're all the way down here. We're at is it Vindi Matrix? And now we'll be coming up to the Black Eye Galaxy. And the telescope's performing rather well tonight, I'm pleased. Okay, and let's see now. Okay, let's go to this view. And you can see this is our planetarium view. This is our telescope view. That knocking noise you hear is wind on the dome. And it kind of creaks the dome a little bit. I really liked this dome when I first got it, but now I've realized that it's not practical, unfortunately, because I'd have to get motors to rotate the dome left or right and to open and close the shutter to make it automated. But it's not worth doing that to, because I've replaced the shutters 3 times in this dome because they've been blown off. I've gone out after a snowstorm and found 3 feet of snow inside the dome, burying the computer out there. The computer is always on. So I was like, the computer's ruined. But then I realized it's actually about 5 below zero. So nothing is melting. So if I get that computer out of there right now, I could bring it inside and use my compressor with the dust off thing and get all the snow out, and we would be fine. And that's what I did. And it was fine, which is kind of crazy. Okay, we're going to do a 20-second shot here to locate the Black Eye Galaxy, make sure it's where we think it is. And then from there, we will actually go and check it out with longer exposures. And as I said, the Black Eye Galaxy is not that far away, relatively speaking. It's 24 million light years away. Not as far as the Antennae, at over 90 million light years away. Okay, so here we go. Let's see how it looks. Well, there it is. It looks like a comet because I didn't give the guiding system time to acquire. So, my mistake. So, I will now take the picture again. The Black Eye Galaxy is not very dim, so we should be able to see it fairly brightly. And you'll see why it's called the Black Eye Galaxy in just a moment. By the way, welcome D. Smith. It's nice to see you. I didn't welcome you yet. I apologize for that. And now we go see. And there we go. This is the Black Eye Galaxy. And I really dig how it looks. And this is actually pretty nice, Daryl. Look at that. That looks pretty nice.
The eyebrow galaxy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, this galaxy, as you can see, has this black, dark material in here. Okay. I guess that's... Oh, guess what you're hearing, guys? That might have been... Okay, see, tomorrow we're going to have military flyovers in the state. And we're going to have C-130s flying in formation over every hospital in the state out of respect for the healthcare workers that have been dealing with corona. So I thought at first maybe I was hearing a C-130 because I heard that dissonant resonance of the motors, but it could have been a truck. Actually, I think it was a truck. But tomorrow around noon, they're going to fly over us, actually, so it's going to really be pretty cool. It's nice. I like it. You know, and if Dan Delaire's still here, they're going to be flying over you and Danbury as well. So that'd be pretty cool to see. Anyway, this is gorgeous, you know. There's a lot going on in here. And this black eyebrow, as Daryl called it, is really an amazing location. It's also kind of occluding the the nucleus a little bit, because there's some of that material is kind of buzzing right close to this nucleus. When you look at the other shots, you can actually tell. And we can actually spin this around and turn it over to look at it from a different perspective. This is one that some people are more familiar with seeing. Okay, so you can see a little bit more of how this black material seems to be occluding that and blocking a little bit of that nucleus, you see. But you can see that it really is it's a fairly tightly wound spiral too, guys, right? Really cool, though. And this is the kind of thing that SkyTour LiveStream is all about, is showing you these amazing deep sky wonders in just a few seconds. I like that. I like being able to do that. I like being at the forefront of this technology. What can I tell you? Geez, Daryl, where to next? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
I'd call that I'd rather fight than switch galaxy. I don't know how many people would get that reference nowadays. You're close to M87.
Yeah, I am. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, we've got Markarian's chain down here. Okay. We got a lot of galaxies down here. And let's see. Yeah, we do look at them all. We looked at the eyes earlier. But this is the one we wanted to find. This is the one that we've been talking about, Daryl and I. And let's just go there, shall we? We can always come back.
Markarian's chain looks cool too.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll be looking at Markarian's chain as well.
If the Black Eye Galaxy is, you said, what, 25 million light years away?
25 million light years away.
So is that actually a foreground object, considering how far away the Virgo supercluster is? Would it be considered part of the cluster?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure if it's actually part of the cluster or not. I actually don't know that. It might be kind of a line of sight object. But then again, at 25 million light years, okay, M87, the one that we're going to be focusing on now, is 55 million. You know? Yeah. The telescope is now aligning on the object itself. And I think it should be doing pretty good. I think it's doing pretty good. Let's see where we're going here. Okay. There we are. Okay, now let's give it the time it needs to latch onto a guide star. It needs 11 seconds, and I apparently don't give it 11 seconds. D. Smith, it's nice to thank you for that, by the way, D. It's nice to be able to do this for everybody. You know, I really enjoy it. So. Oh, and hey, Anahata77, welcome. I did not see you earlier. I would have said hello. I try to make it a point to greet everyone that comes into our stream. All right, 20 seconds here at 12,800 sensitivity on the chip. That's ISO, and this is to catch this Galaxy M87, and we're actually looking for a jet coming off of it. It's material that seems to be shooting out of the galaxy at a fairly high speed. And is that it? It doesn't look like it, does it? It certainly doesn't look like it. Weird. Let's find out where I actually went, because M87 is where it should be. It's possible it didn't go there. Well, didn't go there. Look at that. Where is it? Where's my telescope pointing? Where does it think it's pointing? Oh, it thinks it's way out there. Okay. One of the problems is I think that the dome was in the way, and I know it was because I saw on this. Okay, when we looked at this earlier, right, when I was looking at this, we saw clearly that the dome was actually let's see, the dome was actually interfering with the edge of the telescope. You can see how the telescope's so close to it, but the star it was trying to locate in order to get to this was actually further off, outside the view of the dome. So the guider couldn't find it, and the telescope couldn't find that star, and then use it to calculate properly the location of the Virgo galaxy. So Daryl, I'm going to go move the dome again, okay?
Oops. Okay.
All right. Don't worry, it's that pesky mute. And hey, it's better to use it than not use it sometimes. You know, I could use it myself sometimes. But I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
And hello, Patu. How you doing? I believe Patu is from a long way away. Argentina, is it? Well, he'll say when he comes back. When I come back. Okay, I'll be back. See ya.
Very good. And hello, everybody. I'm a bad astronomer. I've been lax in saying hello to a lot of people. D, Patu. Who's that other guy? I can't think of his name now. Let me see if I can find it on the big page. Amal, of course, if he's still there. Duda. There's somebody else. Anyway, forgive me. I'm just a bad astronomer. But hi, everybody. Terry Groff, Mark shot a lot of exposures of the antennae. He did not stack them yet. He will probably do that offline and then share the images on Facebook or such. Got some really cool pictures though. Mark was talking earlier about doing a Messier marathon for Amanda. The Virgo supercluster is where you get lost doing the marathon. There are so many galaxies in the cluster that it can be hard to keep them straight, especially back in the good old days when people did all this visually. And Mark has red hair now.
I'm here.
You look good as a redhead, Mark.
Oh no, I'm a ginger. Remember? Okay. I'm now gonna do this again. I'm actually gonna have it go to just a star. Okay. And once it goes to this star, then we will have it re-find the Virgo galaxy. That's an interesting star. It looks like it has a visual double. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. All right, and that's that. All right, so now we're there. So now what we should do is be able to go here and find this using this technique. Let's see which star it wants to go to. Alright, well, it's found the star. And that's different from what it did before. Yeah. I can't even see where it went. That's okay. As long as it finds the galaxy. Okay, and we're in a different star field now, so I think my suspicion was correct. Alright, so now I expect the galaxy should be right about here. And we gotta wait the 15 seconds to let it locate its guide star. The technique is so much better. You just gotta let the telescope do its thing and let it find the proper guide stars. I was never a fan. It's called high precision pointing. I was never a fan of this. Never a fan until I saw the benefit of the high precision pointing in action when I was trying to locate something. When I saw the benefit, I was astonished. I said, "Oh wow!" Okay, we're gonna do 20 seconds at 12,800. See if we've got our galaxy in here. And there's somebody coming up the street. That's what this is.
You know, I've been watching that Astro Backyard guy on YouTube, the Canadian astronomer.
Yep.
He's been bringing online, he got his hands on a Celestron 11-inch Edge HD scope and a new mount. I think this, I forget what they call it, the CGXL or something.
Okay.
And it evidently has something analogous to the high precision pointing on your Meade.
Okay.
And he seems very casual about it. He just takes this little doodad and he just slips it over like a little shoe thing mounted on the top of the tube, and doesn't even appear to tighten it down. He just slides it on and lets it go, and it sits there and finds objects like yours is doing.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Is it a secondary type guide system?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, this is M87, guys. It's actually a very, very big galaxy. Kind of the heart of the Virgo supercluster. And there's other galaxies around it that you can see. All right. And what we're looking for, and let's go in a little closer here. I believe we'll have to take a longer exposure, which we will, but what we're looking for is right about there, moving off in that direction or so, around 2 o'clock that way. We're going to look for this little jet that comes off of this. And that jet is the radio jet that it's called, but we can actually see it in visible light because it does have a counterpart. And what we did was we took a picture for 20 seconds. We're going to actually we're going to go to 25,600 for a minute. All right, and we're going to look at that and see what we get. Actually, let's do it for 30 seconds. We go up like 3 stops here. Just try it out. Okay. So this is going to tell us and show us something a little different. We're going to look for more details in here. And of course, the higher we go, the more noise we see, but we can also capture that jet coming off the Messier 87 galaxy. So that's what we're going to do. And this is a 30-second exposure at 25,600 ISO.
When you see M87 here, this is a gigantic elliptical galaxy.
Wow.
It's several times the size of our Milky Way.
Yes, it is.
And this is the galaxy that was the first direct image of a black hole.
Yeah.
If you saw those pictures that came out last year.
That's right. And we caught the jet. Okay. If you look, there it is, right there. See it? That's the jet. Can't miss it. See that, Daryl?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so that jet actually has some peculiarities to it. It's been often studied, as a matter of fact. So it's really an interesting phenomenon and object. So that's good. I like that we captured that jet. Now, did you want to go to a like Markarian's chain, another location, Daryl? That was.
Hey, you're driving the ship. Sure, why not?
But I think that anyone in the chat that knows anything about astronomy, if they want to go to a particular location, I have no problem with that. You guys can drive, right? Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Well, do Markarian's chain.
Okay, we're gonna go here. These galaxies are rather interesting too. So here we go. You'll see there. You just saw the little tiny stars zip away, and then one bright star is, and you hear the telescope, of course. One bright star is brought into view prior to the high precision pointing, and then off it goes. And which star are we using today?
It looks like the same star you had earlier.
It did, didn't it? Yeah. Oh, here we come. The little plus sign that indicates where the telescope is not perfectly aligned with our object yet, which is okay.
I think I take back what I said about you as a redhead. You look kind of like Tony Stark with red hair in that picture.
I'm not sure that's a compliment. But it's okay, it's funny. Hey there, huh? How you doing? Okay, I think we should have our star. I believe our guide star is here, but we'll let that. Alright, and let's take this picture right after I try something, actually. Alright, so here we go. Let's do. Why not? Let's just go for 1 minute at 25,600. Seems like that time goes pretty fast. You know, I'm really glad that you guys choose to spend these evenings with us. I think that you know, it shows that there are people out there that like to look at the beauty of the night sky and the universe. Pretty cool, you know. I really like it. That's why I made it my life, my career. And you know, the hunt for extraterrestrial life, man, is probably the most important thing, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's see where we're going here. We should have a. That's still M87. We're waiting for Markarian's chain to come in. Okay, that looks odd to me. Okay, that is weird to me.
Looks like your pointer didn't move.
It certainly does look that way. This is still M87. How in the world can that be? Because it did move. We saw it move. Alright. Let's just actually tell it to go explicitly and see what happens. Okay, it's moving. I'm watching it move. That's the telescope moving. It must.
And that looks like those same stars again.
Yeah, that's fair, because that's probably gonna. It's probably picking the same stars over again. I think they're out here somewhere. I should see a pointer. Yeah, the pointer will come in. Isn't that weird?
it be the dome interfering again?
Let's see. Let's take a look at that. We're going to go up here and just turn that on and see where we're looking. Let's actually go in here. No, actually it should be right smack dab where it belongs.
Well, that shows your pointer to the lower right now.
Which is different from before.
Yeah, it was below.
Yeah. Right. Well, I actually went to this. Yeah, you're right. I went here. So let's see what it looks like now. We're gonna go back to just do a 30-second shot here and check. Don't worry, folks. Nothing to see here. Move along. Move along. No, don't move along. Did I show you my moon? Oh, that's terrible looking with that tearing. Consider yourselves mooned. You're right, Terry. It is Moonlight Sonata. Okay, now we're talking.
There it is.
Yeah, this is what's called Markarian's chain. It's a number of galaxies. If you recall, when we first started the stream tonight, we looked at this. Remember, we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 galaxies in one view. And each of these galaxies, if you think about it, each of these galaxies is going to have many tens, if not hundreds of billions of stars. And like our galaxy, every one of those stars, other than the O and the B stars within the galaxy, which are actually relatively few, has a chance of having a life-bearing planet on it, or a planet in the habitable zone around that star. A chance. Now, what's the likelihood? Well, in our galaxy, we did the Drake equation and tried to figure out whether the Drake equation by Drake was something that could tell us how many planets were around other stars, and planets that could support life with populations that could have gotten past their dangerous moments in their history, like the nuclear era, gotten past any possibility that their star might obliterate them through solar flares, etc., stellar flares. And it was a progressive equation that you'd solve. And the original Drake equation that Frank Drake created, the original Drake equation was rather pessimistic, okay? But we didn't have a lot of the data we have now, like how many stars actually have planets. That was pure guesswork. And they erred because they were academicians. Academia basically just erred on the side of lower numbers just to be safe. And so we looked at other galaxies, knowing full well that they represent locations where there's many other stars, okay? And we didn't look at these galaxies and say, well, I think there's life, in these galaxies to the tune of maybe 20 billion here, 30 billion there. But in our galaxy, when we calculated that, the new Drake equation shows anywhere between 25 million at the pessimistic side, 25 million habitable worlds like the Earth in our galaxy alone, all the way to potentially 40 billion if you look at the star counts in our galaxy and try and get an accurate star count. Right now, we're erring on the side of only having about 100 billion stars. I don't think that's what we have. I think we have many more stars than that. And so, by comparison, again, being a barred spiral, that's immediately going to raise our numbers anyway. So I think science has a way to go to catch up to that, frankly. But if you think about it, if we say we're at 20 billion habitable Earth-like planets in our galaxy alone, well, how many in this galaxy? Is this galaxy up here, more massive than ours? How about this guy over here, is this guy more massive than ours? Okay. What about this guy over here? Is that more massive than ours? These two are we don't know how more massive they are. Then we got this one down here. Okay. That one up there. And there's another one down here that we didn't talk about. See the little peeker right there? He's peeking out. Okay. So these galaxies are actually all have masses of their own. Some are going to be bigger than our Milky Way. Some are going to be smaller. And they're going to have some are going to have higher star counts than ours. And what that means to us is that we are going to probably in the far future understand better how many life-bearing planets could possibly exist in any one of these galaxies. And that's a monumental result to get. The person who publishes that paper will get a Nobel Prize without a doubt when they do the peer-reviewed science. So, and they'll probably start with a galaxy group like Markarian's chain here, because they're really interesting and they're bright, And we actually see them pretty brightly here, and we actually did a 30-second shot, okay, at 25,600. Let's do one thing. We're just gonna actually move us down just a little. Just a little.
I was gonna say, try to catch that one that was right on the edge.
Exactly right. So now we're gonna do that. We'll just take a 1-minute shot of this and see, because right down here by the edge we have this other little one. That guy way over there. I see you peeking over there. Okay, we're gonna try. We just brought him up a little into the field. Now this guy is gonna be pushed a little bit to the top, but that's okay. And what is that guy to the top? Let's find out. He is NGC 4402. See him? Okay, and when we look here, we can actually see these two galaxies, which are these two galaxies. These are the eyes, as they're called. Or is that, no, that's NGC, no, are those the eyes? I think those are the eyes. I think I had that right. Yeah, these two guys are the eyes, and then this one here is, this galaxy here is Faust VO51, Markarian's chain, M86, basically, Measure 86. Okay, and then we have these guys here. So this is the 1-minute shot. Ah, there we go. We caught them all. Look at that, guys. These two, this one, and these guys. Now, can you imagine if you're here and you're looking out from your galaxy? You're going to see a lot of nearby galaxies around you. Because these are all relatively interesting, reasonable distances from us, but pretty much they're going to be all within the sky of one of these other galaxies. Okay, so for instance, what's the distance on this guy? 66 million light years, and the distance on this guy is probably going to be similar. 46. Okay, and this guy here is 51 million light years. This one is 60 million light years. This one's probably going to be more distant here. He's 84 million light years. All right. And this little one we brought up into the view is 126 million light years away, further than any of them so far. This little guy down here, which corresponds to this guy right here, he is 54 million light years away. So that's pretty far away. It's pretty far away. This one's relatively faint, and when we look at it, it's telling us that it's 84 million light years away. All right, and that's this guy up here. All right, and then this one down here is even further, but it's brighter. And if you notice, we've caught another one even so down here. There's another one here, and there's one here. So there's many more than what we were saying before. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, if that's one right there. So we might have 10 galaxies in this one shot. Actually, oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, we'd have 10 galaxies in this one shot. Not bad. Not bad. So that's each of these, again, 10 major chances of life. Hey, Matt Barron, how you doing? Matt Barron has joined us. Nice to see you here. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and then hit the bell to get notified when we go live. We do deep sky here all the time. This is what we do. I'm the guy in red. This is the operations panel that you look in here. And then over here, this is our control panel for the telescope right here. Operations. And then we have camera control over here, and the dome camera right here. So we actually get to see what's going on and hear what's going on in the dome at all times, which is kind of cool. Really neat. So what do you think, Daryl? We actually, and this is our planetarium view, so we could check it out. So that's where we were. Where do you want to go next? Let's see.
Would you have to move the dome for the coma cluster, NGC 4565 and such?
Well, let's go see, because that's going to be fairly high up, right? You mean where the whale is?
Right there.
The whale galaxy, that area?
I don't remember it by that name.
Or here.
Oh, 4565 was the one I had in mind. That's the Needle Galaxy.
Oh yeah. Let's find that one. Let's see how we fare with that guy. I like that one. NGC. Let's see if I can do 4565. Yeah, I guess I have to put in NGC. $45.65? Yeah. Okay, so 45.65, yes. Oh yeah, I don't think we'll have to do anything special here, will we?
Why not?
Well, we saw the black eye, right? Okay, well, let's try it, shall we? What have we got to lose? Okay, folks, we're gonna go to the Needle Galaxy. It's actually really impressive, so I hope that we can see it. And what we'll see is we'll see a star come in here. That's gonna be our guide. There it is. That sounds the telescope, and then the telescope will make its way to the star, from the star to the galaxy. Yep. All right, so now it's centering up, and wherever it stops before it goes racing away is where we should expect to see the Needle Galaxy. All right, so it's going to center up right around there, and then it's going to stop momentarily and go zipping off, boom, to the Needle Galaxy. Every time it does that, I get an alert on my phone. Oh, man, that's loud. Sometimes the telescope is too loud. All right, there we go. And now we're pulling into this location, hitting the brakes, and letting our guide system pick up. If you notice down here in our observatory window here, you can actually see the telescope is kind of close to the edge of the dome, but I think we should be okay. And that beep you just heard was the telescope saying I'm there. So all I have to do now is go in here, and let's do a 20-second shot to see if we can acquire this. Let's find out. And it is the Needle Galaxy. And you'll see why it's called the Needle Galaxy in just a moment, I hope. It should be right there. And it's bright enough to be seen at 20 seconds. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Oh, Daryl. Huh? Yeah, that is absolutely stunning.
And John Spiral Galaxy with Dark Lane, again, sort of almost eclipsing core of the galaxy.
That is one heck of a galaxy. Look at that. I mean, it has everything, okay? Yeah, you're right. This was a 20-second exposure. All right, 20-second exposure. I think what we can do is we can reduce this down to something more reasonable. All right, and increase this dramatically. So now we're going to go to 1 minute on this. And at 12,800 instead of 25,600, we're going to literally cut the noise in half that we're going to use and see. So, and what's our night look like? Let's go to our all sky cam. Oh, that's not bad. That's actually light reflection off of a bright light here, a bright light there. That's coming to the dome, reflecting and making that reflection. Oh no, actually that's from me when I walked out there, isn't it? No, it's still taking pictures. It means that, oh, maybe it's someone else that was out there. Kidding. All right, so anyway, it worked. We have still a beautiful night sky. And let's come back here. And you can see that the telescope is actually still acquiring our image. When you see that, look at that, Daryl.
Very nice.
All right, see now this is a beautiful sight. That's beautiful.
I still remember the first time I ever saw this object.
Really?
Yep, I acquired it visually, and it just knocked my socks off.
Yeah, I mean, it's knocking my socks off now. Hut is asking if we can see some that are closer so we can see some details. Yes, that might be possible. We have a heck of a supply here. Okay, this galaxy is 56 million light years from us. So it is still pretty far. But let's take a couple shots of this. Let's actually dare to do something here. Let's go up to the settings and let's set this to 1 minute and 30 seconds. All right. And let's drop this even more down to 10,000 and go. Now what we're doing is we're going to take a longer exposure. And that's just beautiful. Look at that. Oh, man. Wow. This thing amazes me, you know. It amazes me. And you can see that dark lane going through it. You know, that dark lane that's going through the center like that, okay? That's we're seeing this almost edge on, okay, along with this little galaxy down here, actually. All right. And we're seeing this dark lane edge on. Think about the disk full of dust. That's where the dust seems to go in the galaxies, in the disk, because that's where stellar formation is going on. That's where we see the youngest, hottest stars. That's where we see a lot of the supernovae. And when we see the supernovas expel gas back into the interstellar medium, as well as dust, because when the star goes into the red giant stage, usually when they reach something called the asymptotic giant branch, the AGB, or don't worry about that, but when they reach that stage, they have very distended atmospheres. They're huge, right? And they're typically red giants. And when they're these giant red giant stars, what will happen is they will actually be so far away from the center with those outer layers. Those outer layers can actually form molecules of gas in those outer atmosphere. And many times, oh, that's much better. Look at that. These molecules of gas can be diatomic carbon. They can be other elements as well that have become diatomic. That is to say, molecules. And there'll be different types of molecules as well. And when that happens, we can see that they will have a very distinctive chemistry, and even when they're in that outer atmosphere, these molecules can form dust particles. These little spindle-shaped dust, just a few microns in size, and that dust is something that's really prevalent and is the cause of much of what we see here in these dark lanes. This is really pretty, I gotta say. And if we were to take, say, 25 pictures of this and stack it, it would be outrageously beautiful, but I'm not going to make you sit through that. But it is stunning, is it not?
It is.
Yeah.
Mark Curtis asks, and I remember reading this yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't there a recent supernova? I believe there are actually two that have just been discovered. I forget where they are, though.
Okay. Yes, but I'm trying to remember myself where they are.
I'd have to look it up.
I would have to look it up, yeah.
Give me just a second. I'll find it.
Okay. Daryl's on it, folks. He will find these supernovae.
Where did I see that?
Let's see if we can just pop up just above this location. Yeah. And go look at the koi fish galaxy while we're here.
Okay. Supernovae light up in M61 and NGC 3643.
Okay, and what constellation?
Give me a second.
I imagine it might be Virgo or
M61 is in Virgo, yes.
okay. Well,
the other one, I don't remember what it is.
Is the supernova in M61 visible to us?
It sure is visible in images.
Well, then why don't we look at it?
Sure.
All right.
That's going to put you back in the Virgo cluster, I guess.
That's okay. We're actually not that far away. We're just up in Coma right now. Coma Berenices. Berenices hair.
Yep.
And for those looking for Virgo, here she is in our mythological view. Okay. And this is Berenice's hair up here. Alright. And the Virgo cluster is down here. And there's lots and lots of stars in these galaxies. The Silver Streak galaxy is pretty cool too. Alright, I want to image this one galaxy first. We're gonna, I believe we're okay. Let me get I want to get the camera in the observatory up so I can see where it's pointing. Okay, we should be alright right there. We shall find out. And we're going to image the koi fish galaxy at the moment. And I'm going to make this a 30-second shot. Here we go. And this will be at 12,800 ISO. Hey, James Dugan. James Dugan just said hello to us, Daryl.
I saw that. I said hi to James.
Oh, I guess I didn't hear that.
Well, I typed it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can see that we have a little dome interaction here that's causing us a problem. So we are right on the edge. So I think the koi fish galaxy will either have to wait. I'd like to go look at M61, was it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go.
That link I posted in chat is the article that talks about the supernova.
Okay.
Has images of it too, by the way.
Awesome.
If anybody in chat wants to look.
Okay, so there's M61. It's just down there, and we're probably going to have to move the dome. But you know what? Worth it. Let's go check it out, shall we? And we're going to head to a nearby star. Okay, and the star we're using right now is Porma. And that's not the same star as before, although it is sort of a visual double, isn't it? I don't think it's Porma that we're using. Boom, and there we go. And off we go. Alright. One of the things you'll notice in the springtime sky is that very few stars actually show up in the fields. So you can imagine if you were just hunting this without a telescope like ours, and you just had to do like star hopping to get to the locations you wanted to see things in, you would have a tough time. You know, you'd have to really be diligent about it. But in Virgo, you almost can't get into a field where you won't see a galaxy at certain points. So knowing which galaxy's which, though, that's a trick. That's a real trick. Okay, let's see what we have here. I think we are good here. Let's do 30 seconds at 12,800. Let's see if we can see a supernova, shall we? Do you know where is it a spiral? What kind of galaxy is this? Oh, what am I doing? I should know. I can easily tell. It's called the Swelling Spiral Galaxy. And it is an SAB, which means that it's a very, very tightly wound spiral. But it's a SAB, so that means that it's actually got this extra long bar in it. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like. All right, Daryl, which is, do you know where the supernova is? This is really nice. This is showing a lot of detail. I think you're on mute. If you're even still here, Daryl.
Yes, I was on mute. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Well, then you have to just repeat the last 30 seconds.
Okay, looking on your screen, Mark, you see the nucleus of the spiral?
I do.
And then to the right, there are two brightest star-like things.
I see those.
The supernova is the one to the top.
That is it.
That's it right there.
How about that, folks? Thank you, Daryl, for pointing that out, for finding that. We actually see a supernova here in the SkyTour LiveStream. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. Now, let's go and see if we can refine this a bit. Let's take a 1.5-minute shot at 10,000 and see if we can actually go the other way here. Actually, yeah, 10,000. All right, we'll do. Oh, come on, 10,000. I want to do a 1.5-minute shot here and see if we can see a little more detail with less noise. Look at that, huh? So if you can see this from all that distance, which is, right, this distance here is, we're looking at 52 million light years. 52.5 million light years. Wow. So this means that we're actually trying to find something that's really, well, the light left 52 million years ago. So if that star had planets around it that were inhabited, just after the dinosaurs died is when they did. And their light didn't get here until just recently. I mean, that's weird. That's the scale of the universe, you know? And if you look at this image, you sure it's the one to the top, yeah?
Yeah. Sure looks like Supernova 2020 JFO, it's called.
Okay.
And there should be, you should see 4 stars, star-like objects from the top of the galaxy, kind of doing a gentle S-curve. Let me get back to your page here. Yep. Okay. Yes. Second one from the top.
I mean, not this one.
Okay, that's number 1. That's number 2. Then 3 and 4, and the supernova is object number 2, the one directly above the one you put right there.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
And interestingly, let me find what I was reading before. M61, I think they said it's a starburst galaxy, has a ton of they've seen supernovas. First one in 1926, then 1961, 1964,
Wow.
1999, 2006, 2008, 2014, and now in 2020.
We should be watching this more often.
That's a real corker of active galaxy.
It is. And if you notice, by going a little bit longer exposure, this was a minute and a half, the color of this particular galaxy comes through. You can see how blue it is here and how the nucleus is more orangey, more yellow. Older star population there. You can see these knotted spiral arms. You can actually see detail in these spiral arms, which is really incredible. I'm going to take some more pictures of this because I'm going to stack this and put it out there. I want to show people the supernova.
Very good. Bob Miller, your question, how are you able to tell that's a supernova? That's pretty easy. They just compare it to past images. They have images on file, and then they compare the new image, and that supernova, that star-like object, is not in the older images, but it popped up in this one. And for that thing to be as big and bright as it is now, that is putting out a ton of energy.
That's for sure.
I mean, some supernovas, at least, they say the power output of the supernova is comparable to all the rest of the galaxy put together.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be the case in this one or not, but you can see right there in Mark's stellarium view, you see they show that top dim one I called number 1, and then number 2 is not there, and number 3 and number 4 are. You see right there, there's the little one up at the top, and then just immediately beneath where it says, what does that say?
That's the name of the galaxy right there.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
In the stellarium view, that second bright dot of light down is not in the image.
So which one are you calling this one?
I'm sorry?
Which one are you calling this one here?
Looking at the image you took, well, that's the...
Is it not this one?
I'm not sure what your question is, Mark.
Is this star that one and this star that one?
The supernova is the one to the upper right of the core of the galaxy.
That blue one? Where I'm pointing, that blue one?
The one you're pointing at now, yes, that's the supernova.
Okay. Are you on YouTube or are you with me on the Skype here?
Stand by. No, I'm not on mute.
No, are you on YouTube or are you on the Skype?
Oh, I've been back and forth on both. I'm on your page right now,
Okay.
your Skype page.
Okay.
Yeah, you see the one, that one right there. You see that's not in the stellarium image.
I'm just trying to find that star.
Yeah.
And if you look at this, it looks like, well, first of all, it looks like we need to focus again. But if you look at this, well, actually, that's interesting. I mean, is it that star?
I suspect it is, yes.
And then there's this star, but then there's this guy. Yeah, he's right. That is different, yeah. It would actually be to the right of the galaxy. In this image, it'd be like here. We should see it there.
Yes.
If you notice, that's in a spiral arm, guys. That is actually a location where hot young stars form. Stars that form what are called these OB associations. Hot OB stars, O and B stars. And these OB associations, they don't last long. They last a few million years, and then they go supernova. It's really quite something. But I'd like to try and focus again if I could. I'm not sure. I see the star I can use. I see a star that I think would probably be best to use for that. So I'm going to focus, and then I'm going to take us back to there, because we want to play with these stars. I like exploding stars. What can I say?
Patu, your question, the same supernova from a different year. Supernovas don't stick around for a terribly long time. You probably wouldn't be able to see that same supernova.
It'd probably be, they could stick around for a few weeks to a few months. Beyond that, they will dim.
As I mentioned earlier, in that Sky and Telescope article, which please go up and find the link, or I could post it again if you like. M61 has a lot of supernovas because it's a active galaxy. I forget what they called it, starburst or what.
Well, there's Seyfert galaxies, there's starburst galaxies, and they're kind of there's overlap to what they actually appear like and what they do, but it's okay. Let's try this. All right, now I'm going to just take a shorter exposure just to obtain the right focus.
8 supernovas in M61 since 1926, less than in 94 years.
Wow.
That is a lot of supernovas for one galaxy.
It kind of gives you a good chance of finding one.
Mm.
Well, even at the lower exposure setting, you can clearly see that supernova.
Yeah, it says supernova 2020 JFO is bright, familiar. Let's blah blah. Supernova is located 66 seconds west and 29 seconds north of the nucleus, about 40 seconds due north of a similarly bright foreground star, which would be the third one in that Gentle S curve I talked about.
Okay. That sounds right.
The explosion was caught early, and the explosion was caught early. Blah blah. Likely continue to brighten in the coming weeks.
Yep.
It's a young Type 2 supernova caught about 7 days before its peak brightness.
It helps. It helps that that the galaxy has a history of being active, because then people will tend to look at it more often. You know.
Huh.
Okay.
M61 is a starburst galaxy.
Yeah.
Exceptionally high rate of star formation. Short-lived supergiant stars hatched within its myriad nebulae provide the fodder for regular supernovae. Blah, blah. I'll post that link again. It's an interesting article, and there's lots of good images in there, too, folks.
Notice how blue the supernova appears relative to these stars. Okay, the supernova is exceedingly blue.
James beat me to it.
Yeah, you put that
Yep. That's it.
in. All right.
And we may see it get brighter in the coming days and weeks.
I suspect that it will if it was that young that that wasn't caught until, or just recently. If it's caught before peak brightness, then it could take a few weeks for it to peak.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Got a bonus object tonight. Thank you to whoever brought that up.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Curtis Horn. I forget who that was.
Yeah, Curtis offers some pretty cool things, man. I tell you, he's got a good head in his shoulders.
I had seen that article yesterday or this morning, and I forgot all about it. So thank you again for bringing that up.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. And is there any other supernova we should be looking for?
There's a second one mentioned in the article. I have no idea where the galaxy is.
Well,
they said this one is a dim supernova in a bright galaxy. And the other one is a bright supernova in a dim galaxy. NGC 3643. Which, hey, it's not far away. It's
that's got to be in is it Coma or Virgo? That's actually, or Leo.
Leo. It's in Leo.
Yeah. Okay.
Might have to move the dome.
I would.
It's yeah, NGC 3643.
Okay. Leo's over a little bit right now anyway, but let's see. Let's poke around with this some more. Okay, got a little artifact there. Gonna have to get rid of.
The image they have of the one in NGC 3643, it's a very dim galaxy and a very bright supernova, and the supernova does look brighter than the galaxy itself.
It may very well be, but the point source kind of is misleading. If you were to spread that brightness out over the size of the area of the galaxy, it would be very, very dim.
Mm.
But that's sort of how that works,
Yeah. It's outshining not just the core, but the entire galaxy, they say here.
Nice.
The supernova, at the time of this writing, or sometime, was magnitude 12.5, and the entire galaxy, 3643, is only 13.5. So the supernova does really stand out.
Wow.
And it's down under the, I guess what you'd call the back hips of Leo.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you guys like what we're doing tonight and you like the things we're showing you, why not go ahead and if you haven't subscribed, please do, and hit the horn hit the bell, so that you will get a little alert when we actually go live again. All right, that's still doing that. I'm in the middle of the periodic error correction issue. That's all right. I can drop back to 30 seconds anyway. But I'm going to keep it at 10,000. I want to try and keep the noise as low as possible, so we can get some nice shots of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the supernova in M61, it had climbed to 14.3 magnitude by the 10th, while the one in the one under Leo is magnitude 12.5. So it's endemically much brighter.
Okay. Interesting. So if you think about it, folks, when we're looking up at this galaxy here, we're actually looking at the death of a star that was very massive, and most certainly didn't have planets around it. It was probably an O star, and O stars don't live long enough to form anything around them. They just eject all that dust and gas. Once they're formed, they push out with this radiation pressure. So, but the thing that I'm getting at before was if there's any habitable planets around some of the fainter stars nearby, if they were close enough, they too could have been wiped out. The gamma radiation alone would have bathed their planet in deadly rays, fatal to carbon-based life. And I think that most life in the universe is probably carbon-based. Does that make me a carbon bigot? Okay, I accept it. Because that material was delivered by comets, delivered by asteroids, delivered by meteorites to this planet. So we are a carbon slurry. And the primordial atmosphere had carbon monoxide. It had carbon dioxide. It had oxygen. Was actually almost non-existent. Actually, the only oxygen that was in our atmosphere was what was developed geologically through geologic processes, and not much. And that almost immediately went into the ground to bind with other components and elements like iron and so forth. So this planet actually had a lot of these carbon-based materials delivered to it. Methane, carbon, complex hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, of course, was very important here. And when you took that primordial atmosphere and bombarded it with lightning, basically in a flask, and just bombarded it, bombarded the primordial atmosphere with lightning strikes through a spark gap. That experiment was done. It was called the Miller-Urey experiment. That experiment showed that the Earth itself generates the building blocks of life. Jesus, that scared me. The Earth itself generates the building blocks of life just by the fact that it makes these components, these building blocks from the primordial ooze from which you all came, as did us. So I think that's really neat. And I just, and then we look at a star like this. A star like this is blazing in its last death throes. Now, what's going to be left behind? If the star is a certain mass, it'll leave behind a neutron star. If it's higher, it'll leave behind a black hole. And I think that limit is somewhere around 10 solar masses or so. So that's possible that we're looking at a star that is right now either has a neutron star left behind or a black hole. And that's something that we know what they look like, but we've never seen one up close. And as Daryl knows, on our show this past weekend, we talked about the closest black hole to our Earth, and it was 1,000 light years away, right in the backyard. When you're talking black holes, pretty cool. Really cool, really cool. So I just think it's pretty awesome. So here we go tonight. We actually got this beautiful object. Thank you, Daryl, for pointing it out, and thank you, Curtis, for commenting about it too, to have us go look at it. Again, as we say to you, okay, just because I'm steering the telescope doesn't mean you can't tell me where to go. All right, in the best ways, of course, not the worst ways. And so that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing how our chat people sometimes have great ideas, and I really think it's kind of cool that you mentioned that. Thank you so much. So you're seeing a star death right there. This star is dying. and it's bright and blue. By the way, that bright blue means a lot of energy, a lot of very, very high energy is coming from this. So we know that the supernova is releasing untold quantities of deadly radiation for carbon-based life. Yeah, it's happening right in front of you.
Are you using?
This is the slightly wider narrow band.
Okay.
You want to try one with the very narrow band? Or how about visible light?
Sure, why not?
Okay. So let's do the visible light first. So that's filter 5. So we're going to actually go down to, you'll see it go by. You'll see the spectral signature of the nucleus of the galaxy there. And then we're going to go to 4 is just the black. And then 5 is the regular light view. So let's do 30 seconds at 10,000 with that. The focus is a little different when we do this, so I may have to refocus yet again. But it'll be cool because we'll be able to see the color of the supernova again, which you can actually see something there. That might be, I'm not sure, is that the nucleus? We'll find out in a moment. We'll find out in just 4 seconds. Because that's going to be really neat. I think that we want to see... Okay, see, I have to refocus. But you can still see how blue that is. You can see how much bluer it is. And the refocusing is because of the fact that we're using different filters, different glass, effective focus on the telescope. This one has no glass, there's no filter. So the effect on the focus is negligible. But when you use a filter, then that will cause a certain amount of changing of where the light rays focus. And this problem is a problem that can't be solved just by, throwing some software at it. You can actually automatically focus this. And I'm gonna write a program to do that. Actually, I mentioned that early. It's probably a good idea. But I don't know. Let me see if indeed I can focus and get us a little bit, better. Make a little better view. So here we are. We have our star for our focus. And let's see what we can do here. Okay, it's the right direction. Go down, then come out again, and go down. You'll notice how the star image seems to be dancing around here. It's doing the samba because of the fact that the seeing tonight is somewhat turbulent, so we're not actually able to catch the best view of these. But now we focused, I think, and let's go do another shot and see what we get of it and see how it looks. Hey there, Neil Smith. Actually, that's a very, very interesting comment. So you guess carbon is their pollen. That's actually probably kind of interesting. Yeah, they brought stuff to us. We didn't bring anything to them. It's not a symbiotic relationship, really. It's just they're just throwing stuff at us, Yeah, there you go.
That top star stands out a little bit.
It does. Oh, sorry, man.
You can see how blue the supernova.
Yeah, you can, and you can also see how blue the disk is of the galaxy a little better. I mean, I showed you the blue. We saw the blue when we looked at it here. Okay, you can see the blue of the disk. That top star, it wasn't very receptive to the narrow band filter I was using. But when you use no filter, Now that top star is pretty obvious. And you can see the beautiful spiral arms of this galaxy, huh?
Yeah, they really jump out in white light.
Yeah. And that's in white light. If we were to take massive exposures here and then stack them, we get all that and more. And this area right here, you see this little area? This area is an area of intense star formation. You can tell because of the knotty nature here, Knotty, and you can see a lot of very hot young stars in here. It's no wonder that they actually went supernova and ended up being seen, you know. So that's pretty cool. I'm really impressed with that. Very nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing. Yep.
Mark, will you forgive me? I think I need to go now.
Well, Daryl, the truth is, I've also kind of reached my limit as well. We've been streaming for 3 hours, 18 minutes, and I'm actually fading and realize that I probably need to just get a good night's sleep. So
Me too.
I just want to thank everybody for coming, and it's a beautiful night, but I just can't survive it. I'm gonna have to go. So I'm sure we'll talk tomorrow. Daryl, you have a good night, and you folks, thank you for coming. We're gonna conclude SkyTour LiveStream tonight, this evening for May 14th, 2020, and we will talk to you on the next clear night. Which, by the way, for the record, the weather report shows beautiful skies for about the next week. So we're going to have plenty of time to do this again. Actually, we'll come back to this galaxy again. Don't forget it, Daryl, okay? M61.
Right.
And we're going to review it and check out the nature of the galaxy and see, watch this supernova fade away. All right?
Very
So it's
good.
going to be really cool.
Okay.
This is a new target for us, guys.
Yeah, super night tonight. We saw lots of neat stuff.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And I really enjoyed seeing the Needle Galaxy. Thank you. Just a wonderful night. And we caught M87's jet. We could see that, the jet coming out. You know, we always say the spring sky is kind of boring. Yeah, but if you know where to look, it can be the most exciting sky of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, folks, you all have a good night. And if you guys remember, when you go out, make sure you keep looking up, okay? And if Amanda was here, you know what she'd say. Except while you're driving. So,
Good night, all.
all right, good night, folks, and we will see you on the other side. So, good night.
Super duper.